camping trip. It went poorly.
Mhm.
There was horrible monsters that attacked you in the middle of the night. They were like frostbitten timberwolf things. Sheriff saved you all. And once he said, "Oh yeah, wait, I should get roll 20 up." But he saved you all, and when he did, he asked you to confirm what the body you saw looked like, to see if it was the same sort of thing. You all kind of learned about a thing called the Coldest Walk that this town goes on, to apparently appease something they call the Wendigo, which is old, like Native American tribe legend that happens in that part of the woods, it seems. The last time they tried to not appease the Wendigo, it seemed to end poorly, with this town called Witten disappearing from the map somehow. And the very last thing I think you did was you talked to Bennett Dunlap. He's a guy who survived the Coldest Walk. He gave you a bird-like totem, said, "Oh, it's different from other totems. I'm not like the other girls," where it was apparently supposed to do something different than the other totems, which are used to communicate with the Wendigo. But he said it didn't work because he may have forgotten the incantation or something associated with it, and said maybe the Ojibwe people might know more about what went wrong or how to use it better or something. And he also mentioned that Witten may be destroyed, but something worse than human has moved in there, and to stay away from it. And now we cut back to Beau, Linc, and Patches, who are standing outside of Bennett Dunlap's very cold house on this unseasonably cold day in spring in the North Wisconsin town of Four Pines. You get I guess a text or something from the police department of Four Pines saying that if you would like to report back to the the police station, they can have a trooper send you out to your stuff in the woods to retrieve whatever's not destroyed, and to get your car towed so it could be fixed.
Beau have pants?
No, we made a hard decision to not ever have, no.
It is a character choice.
Yeah. No, Beau is fully clothed at this point.
Okay.
Beau has 2 pairs of pants on just to make up. It'll never happen again.
Beau only has one, but that's only because Beau only has 2 pairs of pants, and one of them got lost back at the campsite.
God, I hope it wasn't destroyed.
Beau's really upset about the prospect of losing half of his pants.
Half of his pants. But yeah, with that, you're standing in the middle of town. Well, I guess it's not. It's more like imagine like a suburban street, but the houses are a little bit older than say like a more modern street. Like kind of feel a little bit leaning more towards pioneer type cabin houses kind of thing. And it's just snow on the ground, but it's like a sunny day now. So it's got that cool like blue sky, getting a little warmer in the sunlight, but the snow is still there and kind of melting. Kind of a chill vibe going on, and that's what you see. You can get to town square if you need to, or you can go back to the police station, which is pretty easy, but up to you what you would like to do. Linc has this weird little totem in his hands.
Yeah. So I think Beau takes out his like clamshell jitterbug phone and reads the impossibly large text from the police station.
He has to scroll per word.
Yeah. I mean, presumptive that it's a touchscreen. He's using the arrows.
Yeah. Oh God.
8. Well, it looks like the car's well, more or less put back. I'm not entirely sure. I'm still kind of shook up about all this stuff. But it says here we can go back to the police station and see about getting our equipment and at least the car towed. No matter what we want to do, I think, what is it they say? Keeping up appearances, like getting the car fixed, seems like the next thing we would do, no matter what we was doing, right?
Yeah, we gotta find it. We gotta get the car back so we can go talk to those people about. Hold out the wooden burb statue.
Possibly round bird.
Yes.
Wait, so the car's hang on. So the car's at the mechanic? I thought the car and everything was still back at the
No,
campsite.
we can go with the police to get the car to bring to the mechanic. So Beau's saying, like, if we're keeping up appearances, if we want these people to think we're trying to get out of here, fixing the car makes sense.
Well, in that case, why don't we go do that? Let's head back to the campsite.
Where did you get more of those chips?
On my fourth bag.
Beau knows they're drugs now, right? Like, Beau,
He must.
He must.
like, I couldn't remember if someone told Beau and he got mad about it, or like,
Are they drugs?
we did establish that they were drugs because I made a joke about offering them to the cop, which we also did.
Which happened, okay? It happened.
Well, why don't we run back? Beau, you're the classiest out of all of us. Why don't you go ahead and make sure you distract the officer and tell him the life history of that fantastic beauty that probably got ravaged in the night by whatever that creature was. And then me and Linc go take a look in the forest.
There's hope. There's hope that the Corolla's okay. We don't need to.
You hang on to that hope there, Beau. You hang on to that hope.
But yeah, I think Beau's recommendation is that we make our way over to the police station.
Makes sense. Would you like to go into the police station, or would you like to just go straight to the campsite to get your things? I want to say there's like a trooper waiting outside that's been told to kind of meet up with essentially outsiders because nobody really comes up here, so he'd recognize you from probably a mile away. And it's the same trooper, the one that drove you to the Four Pines Inn. Actually, he's probably just waiting for you at the inn or something. Oh, okay. It doesn't matter where he meets you.
Yeah. Why'd you guys leave the inn?
What have you done?
Yeah, I think Beau, like, I think the intention was that like someone would accompany us to the campsite. So I don't think Beau's gonna go there by himself.
Yeah.
But would definitely like meet wherever they like asked us to meet them, or would go to the police station. So like,
I gotcha. Yeah, we'll say, however, one way or another, you found the trooper, whether it was back at the inn or back at the police station or whatever. And he drives you all the way back to the campsite, and he's with you at the campsite, just kind of waiting for you. He brought like a tow truck driver with him, like the tow truck driver kind of followed and everything like that. So him and the tow truck driver are kind of working out with the Camry in it, or the Corolla or whatever. And yeah, you're kind of left to your own devices to see the campsite. So the campsite, now that it's been a night and, you know, you've seen something kind of attack the car. The car's, all the wheels are just kind of broken. Like they're either popped or they're, like shredded in some capacity. Like the car is kind of like tipped on its side now. And like, just like there's holes in the ceiling. One of the doors got ripped off. It's not looking pretty, and it might delay you staying in Four Pines for a pretty long time until you can get it fully repaired and stuff. But they're working, they want to get it done as fast as possible. But yeah, the troopers working on that. The camp, like the tent is just like shredded. Like it just looks like a deflated balloon on the ground and everything like that. Anything that was inside the tent is making lumps in the tent's like deflated corpse now. There's snow that's kind of piled on top of it, so some of it's kind of hard to fish out and everything like that. Strangely enough, any food items that were around are perfectly fine. Like, if you had any coolers or anything like that, it seems like whatever these monsters weren't looking for it. They wanted the fresher meat that wasn't around anymore. And yeah, it's a sunny day now. I want to say it's probably about noon by now. And same kind of vibe as the middle of town, where it's like a sunny but snowy day, which still feels off because it's spring, but like, you know, it's starting to feel more like winter now, just like a nice winter day and everything. You can see clearly into the woods and everything like that in pretty much all directions and everything. So that's where we leave you.
Is a trooper with? So we're back at the campsite, and the trooper's with us.
Yeah, the trooper's there, and so is a tow truck driver, and they're both kind of talking at the moment, but like you can talk to them if you need to.
Okay. Well, Beau, it looks like there was some great love here last night.
Beau doesn't say a word. He walks up to the Corolla and puts his hand on like the hood that's now vertical because the car's on its side, and just drops to both knees and like leans his forehead against the car. It's just like Linc has personally seen his father mourn family members, and this is like the first time there's been like an emotional reaction from loss. It's just he's no words, no anything. If anyone wants to get close enough, I will say like Beau is crying. He's doing his best to hide it, but like it's not like sobbing, but he's definitely crying. And yeah, I think that he probably isn't too concerned about the tent or supplies or anything else. Like this car was probably the only thing Beau's been able to keep alive for as long as he has. I mean, he had a lot of help from Deborah for a long time. But you know, now his relationship is on the rocks. With his son, his relationship with his wife is dead. The last thing that Beau with work was able to keep rolling is now on its side and gutted. And he's not taking it real well.
Patches stands over Beau, watching his brother have a nervous fucking breakdown. Debating if he should eat that next chip. Takes out of the bag, looks at Beau, looks at the chip, throws it back in, and just does a quick tap on the shoulder. There. Nothing happens.
Beau, you feel Beau just like one quick like thing with the human contact. He reaches back and takes your bag of chips and reaches in and has one.
Character development.
Patches walks away. Patches is scared now.
Patches is terrified.
Linc is like agape. His mouth is just.
This is the scariest thing that's happened to Patches all weekend.
Patches, I don't know what's gonna happen, man. I don't know if that was good.
Let your father's going through something. It's a strange and difficult time. Let the man be.
I have a question. Rob, canonically, how strong are voodoo chips?
Ooh.
You've been eating a whole bag of them.
Well, yeah, but it's Patches, man. Like
it is Patches, but there's a part that's like Patches is just using it to like keep his high. So it's like I'm thinking it's the weakest shit ever.
I'm like, are these like half a milligram per chip, or are these like I mean, I get pretzels from Michigan that are like 25 milligrams per chocolate covered pretzel. Like,
let's say, hold on, it's an 8-ounce bag. Let's say the whole bag, if you ate it in one sitting, was like 10 milligrams.
Okay, so like this is nothing.
Nothing.
How straight of an arrow are you though with that Beau? Because I might have you do a sanity damage.
This would 110% be the first time that anything like illicit has been ingested by Beau. I will say Beau is definitely like a fully functioning alcoholic, but he has never tried cannabis.
But that's okay.
Hang on.
The law says.
I was also going to say, because it's Patches, he also might have ground up some psilocybin in there. Just saying.
Great. So 100%. All right, Dick, that was cool.
We're going through. Give me a stability test. I do feel like this actually is a stability test in more ways than one with your car and all that stuff.
Yeah.
No, 100%. I think this is all very reasonable. Just D6s, right?
Yeah. You got
Yes.
one. So you didn't pass. So I want to say that you take 3 stability damage.
Okay.
That seems about right because your car, you've betrayed your vow to dare.
What would my dare instructor think?
Yeah, what would he think? I'm a bad man. I guess with that, Linc, what did you do?
Linc is still watching, like, very surprised at his dad, but like goes to talk to Patches. What do you think's gonna happen with this? And points to Beau.
With this.
Your father's gonna finally meet the universe and its maker. And I think he's on the step, son. Let's take a look at the campsite and see what we can salvage or what we can find.
Okay.
I don't know what the hell that was.
I'm like, was that intentional?
Oh, did you rip ass?
Oh, is that the music from Roll20 going just super
Is
loud
it?
on you?
But like, I turned that way down, and that was loud in my ear.
I was just like, what the hell was that?
Because I'm like, if that was intentional, that would snap even Beau out of it. Like, what the
No.
fuck?
Not intentional unless the game is it's become a full-on Jumanji situation. Oh no.
We see Dave get pulled out from underneath the tree.
It's your game to GM now. That would be the funniest and stupidest way to back out of GMing for a scenario. Just like, oh no, it's real. I gotta go. You got full on fucking Jumanji to decide. But yeah, okay, what was happening before
We're looking through the campsite to see what we can salvage.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to say that's probably some sort of ability you could use.
Investigate.
Figure it out. Yeah, that sounds about right. Is that just like a normal interpersonal one, or is that a general one?
Hold on.
No, is investigating
Not
one?
interpersonal.
Did you just make something up? You just made something up.
Yeah,
That's nothing. It's nothing. But yeah, if you want to use any sort of abilities or something around the campsite, I'll give you stuff. Remember, you guys remember how the system works and all that stuff? General skills
Yes.
you got to roll for, but then academic and interpersonal, technically, you just use points. And you don't have to use points. You can even use it if you don't have points in it.
Sorry, this whatever is the Roll20 thing is making me laugh because there's a part of me going, is this what's going on in Beau's head? Anyway.
What is it?
Evan's question.
Oh, yeah, that's probably a good idea. Do you want to use a point, or do you want to just 0 point?
0 point it.
You get voodoo chips. They didn't touch your voodoo chips. I want to say, let's give your voodoo chips some ammunition now. Why not? So you had the one bag. Is that bag pretty much empty? Like, are we calling that one done, or we still got some of that bag left? The one that you offered some from Beau to Beau.
It's like halfway.
Halfway. Okay, so you have a half, and then I want to say you found 3 more bags.
Yes!
And then we'll say just various snacks from there. So if you need, like, we'll say that your characters have the ability to, like, snack if they need to, so you're not, like, just running around hungry or anything like that. But
There are bottles
the
of
pickled
water.
eggs make it.
wait, what?
The
The
pickled
pickled eggs. The pickled eggs are in a jar that is shattered on the ground.
No
The
one
snack
tell
can't get any worse.
Beau would not be able to handle it.
It's much like my mind shattered on the floor.
Is there anything else out of the tent? I mean, you said it's just basically like shredded. Is it just like it got just shredded, like it ripped open, just shards? Like, I'm trying to get a.
Oh yeah, I want to say pretty much what you described is accurate. It looks like a bunch of wolves just ripped it to pieces and stuff. So, I mean, it's not surprising what did it. Like, you saw what did it. It's not like it's not alluding to a different type of creature coming by and doing it as well. It feels very indicative of. It looked like a pack of wolves just kind of ripped a fence apart and stuff.
I
Okay.
also got a 1.
You got a 1. What did you roll on? What are you even doing?
I was doing like just searching.
Searching. Well, okay, that's fine. We'll say with that, Linc, you're probably looking around. I want to say maybe you find a flashlight and some of the clothes.
Okay.
Yeah. So then you can dress in layers and stuff like that because you all left in a hurry, clearly pantsless and all that stuff. So, yeah, I would say with a no point evidence collection, that's what that will get you.
Yeah. Sure.
So here's something I kind of want to do. I look over. The trooper and the tow truck driver are still just kind of chatting amongst themselves.
Yeah, they're kind of trying to figure out how they're gonna get the car flipped over to the right way.
All right, and Beau's still in
Full green.
in war mourning.
Yeah, no. Beau has not moved. But he also did not give you the chip bag back, and I am not going to
Yep, he earned that bag.
He's got a lot of feelings. I'm gonna sidebar Dave how many chips Beau's eaten since he's been there.
25. You've been there for 3 minutes.
Hey,
all right.
Linc, have you seen anything? Because I'm thinking I don't want to go by myself, but I kind of want someone to go with me to see if the bodies are there.
Yeah, I didn't see him before, so I'd love to see him take some notes. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's let your dad be. There's nothing else for the campsite. Let's start wandering over and see if we can maybe find those bodies. I didn't go too deep, so let's go take a look.
As you two start to walk away, you see the trooper and the tow truck driver come up to Beau, and they're just kind of like standing over him. There's like, sir, we need you to move, please. Sir, please. We need you to move in order. We gotta take this old heap. Probably might need to take it to the junkyard.
They say old heap, and like Beau like snaps up and just like slowly turns his head. He goes, "This car has been beautifully maintained for 12 long years. You will return it to working order, and I will care for it for another 12. Now, if you will excuse me, there are people who may need my assistance at the campsite." And he just stands up and turns. I will ask, between what Patches has said about the chips and Dave, what you know about how many I've consumed. What's the campsite look like to Beau?
It looks just a little bit more colorful.
Okay.
Like the vibrancy's been kicked up maybe 50%.
Yeah, okay.
Otherwise, everything else is normal, and like maybe there's a little bit of a blur when you're looking, like when you move your head and stuff.
Sure, I got like the fade is off.
Yeah, there's like it's like the motion blur's turned up too high in a video game.
Hell yeah. So Beau walks over, looks around the campsite just a little bit. I assume sees pretty much the same thing most people have picked up. The things that they already need. He's gonna look initially for two things. It's gonna be the pants that he left there, and it's gonna be the jar of pickled eggs.
You see the pants nicely folded because Linc managed to find all the clothes and everything like that. Like all the clothes have just been kind of laid neatly in a dry patch on the tent canopy, but you see in the snow buried what looks like a shattered jar. And it can only be one thing.
Beau looks at it and shakes it off. He let himself cry once today, and that's reserved. Listen, tears are reserved for like the passing of family pets, and postseason Packers losses. And Beau, like, neither of those are happening right now. So Beau just walks up to Patches and Linc, wherever they are, and basically just like, this is a grisly, dark place.
We never should have come here. Yeah, all right. I want to say the trooper and the tow truck driver are busy, so they don't really care what you do. Yeah, so you all kind of meet up. You're kind of in the woods. You could use points if you need to. But you can see pretty clearly in pretty much every direction. It's a little hard to remember exactly which direction you went in because it was nighttime when you did that, but for the most part, you have like a general idea for sure.
Yeah, I'm trying to find. At this point, I'm walking through and I'm at least looking for any footprints because I would have walked there.
Yeah, but the snow kept going, so they're a little covered. However, if you use a point in something, I bet you can find something. Or somebody can use a point in something. Doesn't have to be chemistry. Magic! Use a point in magic!
Hold on. I thought I had... nope, we don't need to punch people.
Not right now. You could.
Could I? The snow is real heavy. Could I burn a point in outdoorsman?
Because I also got high in outdoorsman. Same.
Let's say both of you. Yeah. Do you want to both of you burn a point in outdoorsman? You'll find different things.
Sure. Yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah. Patches, because you knew what you were looking for because you were the one who found the bodies before. You kind of start. You're just like, okay, I think it was that tree. Kind of looks familiar. Okay, I think it was in this direction. You start walking, and you notice that there's like dips in the snow where your footprints have been buried. So you're like, oh, okay, yeah, this has got to be it. I remember this and everything. And you get like a brief flashback to seeing like a horrifying wolf in your mind, and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I was over there for sure. What you find are the bodies must have been taken away. Because, I mean, you told them about your campsite and the sheriff was there and everything like that. So earlier in the day, the sheriff or some crew might have come by to take the two bodies away from the woods and everything like that. However, the holes that they were in are still obviously there. They didn't, like, fill them or anything like that. And two things stand out with a 1 point outdoorsman. One of them is the holes. I mentioned before it kind of looks like an impact hole where, like, somebody fell from a great height and just kind of like made this hole in the ground and stuff, and that's where their bodies were. But you look up into the trees directly under the holes, and the trees look perfectly intact. So whatever it was, however these bodies got here, didn't seem to fall from above the tree line, which is a very concerning kind of thing because there's only a few alternatives to what that could mean. But it's curious enough. But the other thing you find is a totem is in one of the holes. It's half buried. It's kind of looks like a tiny mound in the snow in one of the holes, and you kind of brush it away and you notice it's a totem, and it reminds you a little bit of the bird totem, but again, it is different. It's it must be the one that Dunlop mentioned was like the usual totem that they bring, and it kind of just looks like a woman going like this, like with her hands over her mouth and everything like that.
Evil. Okay.
Yeah. And it's like kind of like a rectangular totem. So it's not like a model of a woman or anything. It just looks like a square with like a woman going like this in it and stuff. And yeah, that's what you find. Beau, you're looking around, just kind of seeing any other things that outdoorsmen would like pick up on. Like, oh, is there like a wolf den around here or anything like that? And what you notice is very, very far in the distance, you see what looks like somebody is just kind of standing there, like just kind of standing next to one of the trees, and they're very far away, like easily, like I want to say, like if you were standing at one end of your block, like 2 blocks away, so extremely far away and everything like that.
Midwest way.
They don't do anything, but they kind of step behind a tree, and then you don't really see them again. You kind of lose track of them.
Beau, man, 2 blocks away, outside heavy snowfall.
Well, while you're thinking,
Yeah.
hey, Linc,
Yeah.
let me see your that token Toda thingy.
I hold the fat bird to him.
And I show him the woman speaking no evil. Are there any visible markings or anything else on it that, like, if we try to compare the two, are they just what it is, the bird and the wolf?
So if you could give me some sort of point spend for that, I want to say. Right now, yeah, they kind of look like, probably the same sort of thing, but something does feel a little off about the bird one.
I could also spend a point of maybe a cult. Would a cult be?
You know what? I think it would. I think
Okay.
if you want to spend a point in a cult.
Yeah, I'll spend a point in a cult.
So do you take the 2
Well,
back from him?
I just kind of look. I mean, I look while he's holding him. I think that's fine.
Yeah. I want to say something kind of piques your interest about him because one of them is clearly a rectangular shape and the other one is like a circular spherical bird thing.
Yeah.
But to you, they kind of feel the same. And you're like, wait a minute. And like you probably take both of them in your hands and you're like, this is weird. And you look between them and it's like, okay, it's like a rectangular shape of like rectangular carving of a woman holding her mouth, spherical bird, rectangular carving of a woman holding her mouth, spherical bird, rectangular carving of a woman holding her ears. And then you like look back between them and the bird doesn't look like a bird at all anymore. It looks almost identical to the other totem you were holding.
Huh.
And it's like very different, and it's again a kind of a rectangular carving, but it's holding its ears. And I want to say, give me a sanity test for that.
Okay, that's 1d6.
Yes, and you could spend points. I'm not going to tell you what you need, but
I will spend a point.
okay, and then roll for me. Where are you?
Roll for me. Let's see, this thing loads. 1d6.
I rolled a god.
Again, a 1. I rolled 3 ones.
Roll 20 hates you guys tonight.
Yeah, man.
So I want to say you lose 3 sanity because that's
Okay.
fucked.
Yeah.
You like kind of drop it when you realize it, and nobody else has really picked up on it yet. Like it like very much like almost like it's always looked like that. You almost don't remember it looking like a bird at all anymore. It's just kind of like
don't, or I kind of don't.
You kind of don't. Like it doesn't seem like you're just like, yeah, wait, it always kind of looked like this, right? Like why did I think it looked like a bird? It's more like you're questioning why you thought it looked like a bird for a bit there. But it like to the audience watching the movie that is this, It was very much an extremely different like shape and everything, and then suddenly it's just like, oh, okay. And yeah, that's what you get from that.
Patches, was this seems odd, right? Can I show him to Patches, see if there's any recognition or anything?
I mean, I actually, because of that, do I now think it's a woman?
I want to say, let's see, what's scarier?
What did the voodoo just tell me?
Yeah, through your voodoo eyes. It's always looked like a woman holding her ears to you.
Okay. Yeah. What's up, boy? You got your totem, it's a woman. I just found this, it's a woman. That's kind of strange, ain't it?
Yeah. What's his name? Bennett. I thought he said this one was different, but it looks so similar to the other one. I don't know. It seems odd, right?
I mean, minus, it's like the 3 monkeys. Now we need to find a third. See no, hear no evil, speak no evil. Now we need a one reading a newspaper.
Read no evil. Yes.
Beau suddenly like pops up between both of them and goes, "There's a man in the woods."
Yes, there is, Beau. What are you talking about?
About about 150, 200 yards. There was a man by a tree. I waved at. He did not wave back. But there was a man in the yard. Wasn't that a bird before? Anyways,
Oh, where's the bag of voodoo chips?
Oh, I left it by the car.
Oh, I thought you ate it all. Okay. All right. Just making sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure that would be advice. And he, like, as he says that, he reaches in and grabs one and eats it.
Good Beau.
He goes, I don't know why they're so tasty, but they're real, like, the flavoring. I'm not sure what it is. It feels like, well, I don't know what voodoo is. I don't think that my pastor would approve, but I like it a bit, probably more. Linc, you shouldn't eat these. Anyways, there's some
Okay,
man.
Dad. Okay, Dad.
Hands the bag to
You cut him off from saying, anyways, there's a man in the woods.
All right.
There was out, like I said, about 200 yards. There was a man by the tree, and I waved at him, and then he went back behind the tree. I mean, I don't think we could close the distance on him, but someone's watching, someone's looking. They're all looking.
Well,
Horrifying.
well, now we got two of these. We just found this with the boy. The boy kind of freaked out. Why'd you say he was a bird? It's always been a woman.
I don't know. I thought it was something else earlier too. That's why. Like I said, that guy said that this one was different. It doesn't look different. It looks like it's part of the set.
So, Dave, I don't want to step on your toes here, but I feel like the influx of psilocybin gives Beau some he remembers this being not just a bird, but like a comically fat bird.
Yeah. To you, it definitely and it's funny because to you it looked like that until Linc brought up that it's now a woman.
Yeah. Okay. So I have a distinct. Yeah. So I point and goes that was it was like a bird circle before. Now it's a lady, and
all right. Seriously, Beau. I know it's 2024. They're not called birds anymore. You can call them a lady. All right.
No. It was an impossibly round bird. It was like.
That's
a
very nice way of calling her fat. Hey, she ain't that fat. All right, Beau?
Beau, this is why Deborah left you.
Beau immediately drops to his knees again. No, it was, you guys, it was like a circle bird. It was a bird, like a little, like a finch or some shit. It was a little bird, but it was a circle. And the guy even said, he's like, it was different than the other. And what's that one? Where'd you get another one? Well, not another one. This one's, now they're the same, but they were different. And now maybe when you bring them together?
Well, I could take this one and walk away, but I'm starting to feel like we should probably find our next step of what to do here. Maybe we could bring this back to Bennett. What are your guys' thoughts?
I don't know if Bennett's going to be a whole lot of luck to it. I think, listen, I know the voodoo chips will reveal the truth.
All right, I think we should go to the tribe because I think they made these, didn't they?
We could try the tribe. We should pick up that bag of voodoo chips because I'm loving your dad right now.
I've never felt more like a brother to my brother. I'm so
glad that car's gone. I ain't telling that to his face. You didn't hear it. No. You're a good man.
No, Beau points to Linc. Is like the boy's right. The tribe's the move. The Ojibwe are going to know what's going on. When I was overseas, you work with the locals. The locals know what's going on. We got to talk to people who come from here and know about the bird lady.
Yeah. All right. That's fine. Yeah, let's go.
You see in the distance the trooper and the tow truck driver. The tow truck driver's in his car, and the car starts kind of the tow truck kind of starts to carry your car away, and like a bumper like kind of snaps off on one hinge as it's being dragged through the snow. It's still attached; it didn't fall off or anything, but like it's just it's not looking great. That car is, but it's being towed to the hospital essentially. You know?
Yeah. So I would like to, before Beau tries to rally everyone to go somewhere, I want to walk up to the Corolla, lift the bumper, and like jot it back into place. And I am going to burn 3 points of mechanical repair to have it be okay when I like flip the bumper back in.
So you have to roll for mechanical repair. I'll let you do it. Yeah, if you want to do, yeah, go for it. I'm gonna laugh. Get a 1. If you get a 1, we might have to start rolling in real life. Oh my god!
Oh, there we go. Yeah,
yeah. You actually somehow you bumped that in, and like the wheel also popped back on.
Yeah. So I do that, and I look at the tow truck driver and I go, "You be more careful with this thing. It's a classic."
He gets scared. He's like, "Yes, sir." Well, we'll have it fixed for you. I want to say the timeline now is because you did so good on that. And you spent a lot of points. The timeline is expedited now. So they originally said, "Oh, it might take a week to repair," but they're like, "Oh, you know what? I might be able to get this in about 3 days. I think 3 days might do it. Yeah,
beautiful.
3 or 4 days."
Yeah. Beau looks back at the group and goes, "To the Ojibwe."
Anyway,
Trooper's like, "Did you say there was a man in the wind?" And then we but yeah, the trooper takes you back to the inn because that's the place he's told to drop you all off. You can get to the Ojibwe. You can actually tell him to take you there if you want. Actually, he wouldn't mind doing that. Would you like to talk to him at all, or do you want to just tell him to take you to Ojibwe and pretend like you're still thinking about leaving?
I would like. I'm trying to like. I know assess honesty is for like determining if someone's lying to me. I want to, and I feel like sense trouble would be the next opportunity. I want to get a vibe if Patches thinks that I should talk to the cop about seeing someone.
Oh, you can do that on your secret invisible brother Linc. Look at each other and see what you say.
Okay. I'm gonna attempt to secret brother Linc probably for the first time with Patches ever.
That's an old line. You gotta dust it off.
Acknowledging that my third eye is wide open. Patches. Should I talk to the trooper about? It's me, Beau.
It's me, Beau.
The entire time, Beau is riding shotgun in the patrol car and is like fully turned around, just making unbreaking eye contact with Patches.
Full eyes wide.
Patches, it's Beau. I'm inside your mind.
We are mind linked.
Patches, I saw someone in the woods. Should we... The trooper might be able to do something about it, or is this something... I'm still of the mind I just want to keep Lincoln safe. So should I send the trooper after whoever it was, or should we keep quiet about it? I know you always tell me not to talk to the fuzz. It's Beau.
It's Beau.
Still just unbreaking eye contact.
Patches needs to have a memory refresher. Did I take psilocybin more today than I didn't realize? And then I stop, I smile, and I squint back at him because now I need to test this hypothesis. No. But let's try to... No, don't do that. Never talk to the fuzz. But since we gotta stay here, we can talk about, hey, is there anything at the Ojibwe like a consignment shop? Maybe we can get trinkets and they'll take us. distract him, and let's see if we can get there.
Beau,
Angel wink wink.
Beau has not like closed his eyes once.
They're
and
starting
just
to turn
does,
around.
like the slowest, most exaggerated like.
We see Lincoln was like looking at the statues and then looks to like in the backseat next to Patches and then see Zelko and his dad just staring at each other.
Staring at each other.
Meanwhile, the trooper's like, if you want to see the Ojibwe, I'll take you. But what's about this guy you saw in the woods?
Yeah, Beau slowly turns back to the trooper and is just like, we'd like to visit the Ojibwe for tourist trinkets. We've missed out on our camping endeavor and would still like to have some family fun and heard this is an optimum place to do it. There was no man in the woods.
Yeah, all right. I mean, that makes sense to me. I guess a lot of people like to go to the Ojibwe. They have a general store there and souvenir shop and stuff. And so it's one of the things on the brochures for when we tried to be more tourist friendly and stuff. But it's been a while since then. But I don't know what this whole thing about man in the woods is. That's weird. But I don't see anything wrong with that. I can take you there if you want. It is your vacation after all, and it's the better to keep you out of our Four Pines affairs, and have you visit, keep your mind on the sunnier side of things, I guess. I don't see any problem with that.
Thank you, officer.
Well, you're very welcome. Now you let me know if you see any people in the woods. It's an awful huge problem if you saw a person.
We would all be dead if you saw anyone.
We are so fucked if you saw a person in the woods. You wouldn't believe me.
I want to ask, but I'm not going to. Oh.
But he could take you to not Witten. Definitely not Witten. You ain't going to Witten. You're going to the Ojibwe settlement. It doesn't really have a name in here. It does it. Yeah, just the Ojibwe community, Witten refugees. Okay, yeah. But yeah. It's like it's kind of on the outskirts of town, but close enough that you could have walked there from the inn. But like, because they're kind of integrated into the community. It's not like they're separated. They're like, it's just one big town and stuff like that. He drops you off in that part of town and everything like that. What you see is, again, the buildings all look kind of comparable to each other, kind of older pioneerish buildings made of log cabins and all that stuff. There's a bit more Native American decor in this part of town, obviously. Sun's still out and shining and everything like that. I want to say now it's about getting back and forth between the bonfire location and the town probably took like an hour, and you were there for a bit. So I want to say maybe it's about 3 or 4 p.m. We'll say 4 p.m. So sun's, it's spring, so sun's still up. It's fine. There's like a really nice, like kind of general store. There's even kind of like a couple like gift shops and stuff like that. Places that say stuff like hiking tours and stuff like that. It's almost like at one point they wanted this to maybe try and be a touristy town, but then they just kind of stopped doing it. So a lot of these places that like offer tourist amenities are like not in use. Like they've been closed and seem like they've been closed for years and stuff like that. But the general store is still open. The trooper just kind of drops you off in the middle of town, and he's just like, yeah, go have fun. If you need anything, you got our number. You call us, and it's 911. He winks. Don't call 911 if it's not an emergency. Just use the text line.
Beau like gives a really weird like fake laugh of like, ha ha ha! Of course not, officer.
I like you. You seem like a good, honest man who would never do anything illicit or illegal.
I would not enjoy returning to your woods where there was no man.
I mean, that's okay. You have a good one. Hope you and your family have fun. And he kind of shuts the door and he drives off, leaving you in the middle of the Ojibwe settlement.
I'm gonna go wander it into the. You said there was a grocery store. I'm gonna walk into the grocery store.
Alrighty. There's an older woman at the counter. I want to say older, but like about your age, older. Your character's ages and stuff. She's standing next to the grocery store. There's a younger man working the counter and everything. He seems like he's being coached, as in like this might be a new job for him or something like that. But the older woman is of Ojibwe descent. She's got like hair dressings that kind of symbolize her status in the tribe and everything like that, as being a bit more higher up and everything. And she's dressed kind of classy, like nice dress shirt and everything like that. Carries herself like she's a position of power or something in the town. She's chatting with the person at the front desk, and she sees new people. So doesn't happen often in Four Pines. So she's just like, oh, hey, newcomers, what brings you to this part of the Wisconsin?
Well, my name's Patches. I came here with my brother Beau and my nephew here, Linc. We all got simple one-name names. We be the Hansons. And, we kind of came here. We had a little camping trip, a little bit of a snafu. Seems like the car had a little bit of a ruckus. The tent kind of little fell down. And the important part is I got all my voodoo chips. I was wondering what you have fine and dandy here that we can check out in your little Ojibwe settlement and learn a little bit more about the history of the town and your people.
Okay, it's been a while since we've been asked to do something like this, but might as well dust off the old encyclopedia knowledge and see what we can help you with. If you want to, maybe we can do it's a little late for a hike, but maybe tomorrow morning we can go for a hike. How long are you planning on staying?
I immediately assess their honesty because I know they're Ojibwe and they have oral history, not an encyclopedia. 4 points.
4 points? A 0 point would have been, yeah, Dave fucked up. And,
right, 2 points.
Yeah, she's being very honest, although you can sense, I would say still 0 points, no need to, she's very forward and stuff like that, but she very much is like, she's more than happy to accommodate you guys, and like, especially with your interest in the town and the history and everything like that. However, she is curious because she does not see outsiders in Four Pines. Pretty much, period. So it's just like, she's just like, how do we get these people out of here as fast as humanly possible? Kind of a vibe about her, but like, she doesn't seem like she's trying to like fake you out or lie to you or anything. She just doesn't really know how to super interact with you or how to kind of move you along to get out of their business kind of thing.
Beau, sensing discomfort, leans into like radical candor on the situation. So he leans in on the counter and goes, listen, we're only in town because I booked a strange campsite in a foolhardy attempt to reconnect with my son, whom I have failed emotionally as a father. I thought a nice hike would be a pleasant way to perhaps broach some uncomfortable conversations about the slow demolition of my marriage to his mother.
Oh.
I'm Beau.
Hi, Beau. What is your name? It's Ayasha. I'm Ayasha Banks. Nice to meet you, and we just don't get visitors very often in this neck of the woods and stuff. I
understand. That's why I explained with the level of clarity that I did.
Oh yeah, I understand. So okay, a hike. We can, maybe we can work something out. I'm sure we could dust off one of the old hiking maps and see an appropriate one for your skill level. How often do you all go hiking?
Well, I got 2,000 miles under my belt. Linc looks like he has 2,000 inches, and then Beau.
I will carry it if necessary.
Huh?
Beau just says, "I will carry the boy if necessary."
I'm more of an inside boy.
Okay, that's just like this little one over here. This is my nephew. He's it's his first day on the job. He's been trying to wipe a part of the counter that Beau's leaning on. He's like, sir, please. I'm just trying to do my job. But yeah, the grocery store seems kind of bustling actually. It's probably like the #1 grocery store in the Ojibwe part of town. So like a lot of locals are just kind of like here. Some of them just kind of hang out, like they just like to chat with each other. Some of them are sitting on the front porch of the thing as the sun's starting to kind of get a little bit closer to sunset. It's still like mid-afternoon and everything. But yeah, some of them like you see Ayasha like kind of like nod to somebody as they like open a beer from the thing. Clearly there's some understanding that this guy will pay for it later and stuff like that, but they're very close-knit community and stuff like that.
Beau like again makes unblinking contact towards Patches.
Patches gets confused for 2 seconds and then feels the connection. Looks at Beau.
Patches, I still don't fully understand how we're doing this. but I think we should perhaps ask to speak privately with these fine people and be a little bit more forward with the true nature of what we are seeking. The young one keeps rubbing my arm with a rag, and it's unsettling.
Patches somehow hears that via the connection.
It goes through Beau's ear across the mind, like.
Wait! I just look at Beau and I go, "I hear you, brother." And then I walk over to the little kid. I put my hand where he's trying to wipe and go, "That's enough now, son." just move it away. And then I wink back at Beau. And then I smile and I eat a chip.
He starts to mess with the cigarettes on the back counter instead.
Well, why don't we just pick a trail? Well, hey, I'll pick a trail. Aisha, would you be the one walking us around for like how long you been in town?
I could use a good walk. Well, I'm kind of the community leader around here, so we used to have a guy that does this, but well, he she doesn't feel like continuing that sentence. Yeah, I know the trail's good enough. I can take you around if you need.
Yeah, nice brisk day. I know it's gonna be a cold walk, but let's go on.
She kind of squints at you, and then she kind of like checks you all out very quickly and spends a point in investigation. And she's
not
like,
even a skill.
It's not even a skill. She's got it though. She looks at Linc and she's like, "Say, boy, what's that you got in your pocket?"
Yeah, I was about to ask. You said you're the community leader. We got these, and pulls out the 2 totems. We got these 2 totems. We're looking for a third, if you guys...
Come this way. And she kind of gestures you to the porch of the general store.
All right.
She walks out there, so she leaves you guys behind, but she basically waits for all 3 of you to come. It's not like a one-on-one thing.
Beau gets up, like, slaps the counter where his arm was and goes, "Got it warmed up for you, son." Then walks out.
Thanks.
You want any cigarettes, sir? The guy goes over to Patches. Not allowed to sell them. I'm only 15. I have to get the manager, who's also my aunt.
Is anyone talking to this boy?
I mean, I told him I warmed up the counter for him. I tried to give him a solid dad joke, but that's about it.
Who's he talking to?
Okay, can you bring me out, like... No, or... with a little. Oh. Antoinette made pizza.
Nice.
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah. So what happened?
I am going
scared.
out with this woman.
We're going out the porch with Aisha.
Oh.
Ashia?
Ayasha. That's how I've been pronouncing it. Yeah. Okay. So she sits down and she kind of nods to two other people who are smoking on the porch. And they just kind of go like, "Oh, okay," and they kind of walk across the street and go down somewhere else to hang out and stuff. She's like, "Say, boy, why don't you take a seat right here next to me and show me those things you got?"
I do. Linc does.
So she looks at the one that Patches found on the in the hole. She's like, "Okay, this is one we make. This one is it's a trinket. You mentioned the Coldest Walk.
Yeah,
Sir?
yeah, we're looking into that. We heard about it a little bit.
Okay, well, I mean, no use in hiding it as long as you don't tell anybody outside of town. Not that they'll believe you anyway. How much do you know about the Coldest Walk?
We know that people kind of have to go on it. We know something happened to the town of Witten when they didn't go on it. We know about the Wendigo. We know about some people come back, but not many. And whatever else we have learned that I don't remember off the top of my head.
That's fair. Okay, well, then you'll know that this trinket is one that we give out to walkers, the Coldest Walkers. The thing is, the Coldest Walk kind of starts here and continues onward, and most of the people who go on the Coldest Walk kind of come to me or any other Ojibwe members to kind of get words of inspiration. This one, which is again the one that Patches found, so it's the one of the woman holding her ears. I said
Mouth.
right.
You said mouth. Mouth was the one.
Was the one you
Ears
had the
was
one with the
I
ears.
had.
Yeah. So it's the one of the mouth. Is like, so this one. Have you ever seen Space Jam?
I have. Yeah.
Yes.
So this is kind of like Michael's secret sauce. Doesn't really. It's for emotional support, really. Doesn't do much. But it's emotional support's very important for the Coldest Walk and everything like that. So it's I wouldn't look too much into this, but it's just a trinket, more like a souvenir. We sell them in the gift shop, but they're different. We tell them that these ones have some sort of magic on them and stuff. But that one, she looks at the other one that Linc had. She's like, "Where did you get this one?"
One of the survivors, Bennett Dunlap, gave it to us. He said it was different, and that was about it. He said it was different, and it could be used for some other purpose.
Does it look different to you every time you look at it?
I look at it again.
She just kind of so it looks like a woman holding her ears again, and she just kind of goes like this over it, and it looks like a skeletal woman grabbing her jaw and ripping it open. It's like, so this is what this one really looks like.
That's fine. Should I make some sort of test?
Yeah.
Okay.
Give me another sanity test. You can spend as much as you want. I'll let
Did
you
we
know
all
what you
see
get.
this? Is this?
I was gonna say, do we all see it?
I want to say all of you see this. Yeah, so it's a sanity test for all of you.
I can't spend any more. I got a 5.
Okay, you're fine. You lose 1 sanity point, but you're fine. So Matt, you lose 1 sanity point, but you're fine. Patches, you lose 2 sanity points.
Okay.
But he's fine.
But you failed technically the best, but you're fine. But it definitely, it's especially is apt for you because to you it never looked like a bird. But this is the first time it kind of did something weird in front of you, and you're like, what? This is not an Ojibwe totem. I don't know where Bennett got this. It is not one of ours. If anything, I suggest you burn it. I have guesses, but nothing to confirm on where the origin of this thing is, and it feels I mean, something's strong with this. I don't know what's going on with it, but there's something wrong with it. I mean, I hesitate to give it back to you, but I don't want to hold it any longer. So here you go. She kind of hands it back to you.
Who else would make totems? And even I've never seen a trick like that, lady. I've never seen anything like that before in my eyes, in my world of what the hell just happened. And all right, I'm gonna be
Welcome to Four Pines, where nothing makes sense and everything's magical. I mean, I don't think. Maybe it's nothing. She kind of hand waves it away.
Maybe what's nothing?
This totem. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe you should.
Woman, he was a normal woman before, and now he's living now.
Is he okay?
Why are you wrong?
Okay, it seems like maybe my mental break is over and it's time for Patches to take the reins on that one again. It's upsetting because it was a bird, and then it was a lady, and now it's a skeleton lady. And I think what most of us need to know is just why would someone have? You said you don't know where it came from, but like, you know, it's something different than. I don't want to just skim over it. You've been giving these folks like trinkets that don't do nothing to go out and face this monster. That doesn't sit right with me. But I want to focus on this one. What do you?
There are monsters in the woods with hands for mouths, mouth hands, things with the screaming.
She doesn't even mind that you're yelling because everyone in town already knows about these. She's just, Beau, if you'd like to spend some sort of ability point in something.
Yeah, give me, can I burn a point in reassurance and attempt to, like, get her to think, like, these aren't bad white folk?
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, I'll allow that. So you spend that. Patches even is, like, with Patches' addition of, like, mentioning that there's monsters with, obviously, you very much described the monsters. So, like, she's like, okay, they've seen the monsters. They know about the Coldest Walk. They know about the Wendigo because they name dropped it, and they have this totem. So clearly there's no point in hiding any of this from them anymore. So she goes, as long as you promise to not bring anyone else back to Four Pines, I can tell you a little bit more about this totem. This one, this wrong one, oh, that scared the shit out of me. My pizza's here. Okay, I'm back. Where was I? There is a so there. Have you heard of the town Witten?
Yeah.
We heard of it.
Yeah, well, it's not
off a map.
Yeah, it's well, bad things happen there, and normally I'd be able to say that nobody lives there anymore, but something's moved in, and I think that this totem belongs to them. It's a what's a good word for it? I guess cult moved in, and they worship the Wendigo. So this might be related to them in some capacity. I'm not entirely sure what it does or how it works, but it is definitely not Ojibwe in origin. I know how to reveal it for what it truly is, but other than that, I can't really do anything about this. I recommend you get rid of it with fire. And That's all I can really say about that. But yeah, I mean, I'm here to answer any more questions. Y'all seem like you know a fair amount of what's going on around here. Again, just ask you don't bring any more people into this because you just put their lives in danger. The more people that come up here, especially those that just don't understand what's going on. But yeah, I can answer more questions if you need.
Have you guys seen anybody on this walk in the frigid hell?
Oh yeah, the Ojibwe have been doing the coldest walk longer than the white people around here have been because we lived here longer and we back in the year 500 we've been doing this for this long and stuff when some sort of weird cold snap started moving in and everything, killing all the crops. But yeah, it's an important thing in order to appease the Wendigo, and it's the only way to kind of stop further destruction from happening. Nobody wants to do it, but it's the way it is around here, and there's really no stopping it.
Do you have any people that have come back?
Yeah, we have, but none of them are around any longer. They don't tend to live very long after they come back. It's kind of a minor miracle if they live for more than a year. But yeah, we've had a few, let's say, generations, if you will.
Hey, Linc, when did Dunlap say he did it?
How long did Dunlap did they walk? We did find this out.
I'll be honest with you, it's probably some number I made up. But I want to say it was probably like 2 years ago.
Get your midgeons.
Yeah.
So that seems in line with what she's saying. Like they come back, but they don't live for. He might be an exception, but like he was on his way out.
She especially said that it's not often they live longer than a year, which means some of them do, and it's like, you saw kind of what he looked like. He looks more skeleton than man at this point, so it's like he's probably on his way out.
Yeah.
So, is that what happened to Witten? Just they didn't send anybody on the walk, or why are they?
That's one way of putting it. Well, when the Sterlings, the Sterling family, generations ago moved in, outsiders being outsiders and all, not understanding the ways of the people around them. They told us it's for our own good if we just don't go on the coldest walk, and all this other mumbo jumbo white people bullshit about how we're just doing this all to ourselves, and it's so much better. You don't have to sacrifice people. And then we didn't do it 1 year, and then the town of Winton was destroyed as a result. So ever since then, the Sterlings usually their family is kind of the first to volunteer because I think it's some guilt thing or something. But generations of the Sterlings and everything and our people, we kept doing it ever since because it's the only way to prevent something like Winton from happening again, or from something like Winton happening across the entire country. So we're kind of like the last line of defense here up in Little Four Pines, Wisconsin.
So, do you know what? Because we already talked about it. What's with the creatures? Because you were talking about a Wendigo, and we didn't just see that. We saw horrifying things.
We think it's some sort of effect of the Wendigo, like it causes like creatures, abominations around it and stuff like that. It kind of corrupts the earth and everything around it. Our belief is that it is a Wendigo, born from some sort of greed from somebody a long, long time ago or something. Obviously, no way to confirm it, and I'm kind of one of the newer generations of Ojibwe, and it's hard to believe that it could be something mystical. But at the end of the day, you've seen what we've seen, and we've seen more than you have, obviously. But it can't be anything else but mystical. So I fully buy into the fact that it could be a Wendigo. But that's the only answer we got, really. Like, it doesn't follow every single rule that we writ down for Wendigos or anything, but if it is born of a Wendigo, I can say that the only way to kill it would be to kill the person that's frozen inside of it. But the problem is that nobody's been able to do anything even close to hurting the damn thing, and we have no idea how, who would be inside of it or how they'd be accessible to be able to be killed or anything like that. So really, it's.
You mean there's Han Solos in those Tauntauns?
I thought it was Luke that went into the Tauntaun.
Well,
He's
Han
right.
cut him in.
Patches. Han puts Luke inside the
well,
thing.
also
Yeah.
Han has to keep warm, so he has to squeeze his little tush in there too.
I don't think that's. I think Han's
that.
more than a man of that, and I think what you're thinking of is when he was frozen in kryptonite, which happens in the same movie actually. So, 2-hour conversation about Star Wars.
Also, it's carbonite, not kryptonite. Kryptonite is the weakness that Superman has.
Yeah, that's
It's carbonite. He posed right on that one.
Yeah, that's that's very true. That's very true. You're right. See, we all don't know a little bit of something.
We all have room to learn. That's the real takeaway from this.
That's the real takeaway from this. But
the
yeah,
Wendigos we made along the way.
Linc, what? We're doing this because of you, boy, and I just psychic Linc. Try again with Beau. Really?
Beau shoots back. Really would. It's carbonite, not kryptonite.
Linc is also talking to Patches during the psychic connection because Patches just talked to him. Yeah, I mean, you don't think this is super interesting, Patches? I thought you'd be like into this too. This is like, it's scary, but it's it's a once in a lifetime experience.
This ain't Burning Man, boy. This is Freezing Man. All right, this is the opposite of all of that. That's a good time. This is not good time. It's bad.
It is bad. It is bad. But like, I think if we just get like just one sight at it and leave, just one little glance.
What do you want to lick it, boy? Like,
No, I want to just see it and then post. Maybe take a picture, post it on the forums. Prove it's out there.
that goes against what everybody's been saying, which is don't bring people to the town.
Well, I'm not bringing. I'm not gonna tell them where. I'll just
And
say
you're playing
that.
on the TikTokers.
I'm not gonna like tag my location. I'm just gonna say, oh look, it's the Wendigo in the
Announce
woods.
your location, boy. That's my man, your dad, or our endorsement. No is no.
Beau holds up his clamshell. He goes, "They could track your phone that no one knows where this is. I don't even know half the time."
I still think out of string.
That's why your uncle and I do this new mind thing we discovered like 45 minutes ago.
Oh, okay. She's like trying to.
Hold on, we are having a family moment.
I just want to take this. I just want to take this a
Lincoln.
little bit further. I want to see. I want to learn more about it.
You
Lincoln,
don't take photos
I-
and you don't TikTok-y.
I don't have a TikTok, no.
What?
Yeah,
what
That's honesty.
whatever your instant potatoes, or,
No.
or your face blocking, or none of them.
No,
All right? None of.
none of.
I don't
no
care about your
TikTok.
shitty friend Tom from MySpace. None of that.
Who?
You know Tom from MySpace?
Lincoln does not know who that is.
Yeah, true.
I'm friends with Tom on MySpace.
You're not home.
Yeah, we're all friends with Tom from MySpace. Your head's
Guy's looking behind you because he's ahead of you anyway. All right. So,
Boy,
Ashia.
there's nothing that's going to set you off this path, is there?
No, I don't think so. I think I really gotta see this thing, man. The times I go outside are extremely limited. So a lot of my existence is on the message boards, talking about what might be happening, looking at photos, trying to analyze data, but being out here, finding my own data, I think that is a once in a lifetime thing for me.
This is worse than those kids playing Pokemon Go on Fort Wayne. And then they stepped on a landmine and they thought it was the wrong Raichu. All right. You know what?
It was a
You're
real
gonna learn
Blastoise.
today. You'll learn today. Fine. So what?
All right, ma'am, I'm sorry. I think our family moment is over now. I apologize for the rudeness.
She hasn't been there for 20 minutes.
You go back to the convenience store. Is that little twerp still there clearing that spot?
Same spot. No, she's still sitting on.
Beau comes in, knocks the thing out, puts his arm back down.
Oh! Yeah. Okay. She's just kind of sitting on the porch. She's lit up a cigarette. And she's like, did you have any more questions, or?
Yeah. Do we, as players, do we know how this started? How the whole Coldest Walk thing began?
Sort of. I mean, she mentioned that it's just kind of something that the Ojibwe have been doing for a long time, and then it really hit ahead when, in the past, the outsiders, colonists kind of came in and said, "Oh, you don't need to do that. It's bad for you," and stuff, and then it got worse.
How did this? They've been doing it a while. Do you know the inception of it? When the Coldest Walk first started? Was there any information about that?
Actually, if you give me some sort of check for that,
sure,
there is a thing for that.
I can do anthropology.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I will do. This isn't going to come up very often, so I'll use 3 points of anthropology.
It's 1 is fine.
Okay.
Please start lower.
So she mentioned something along the year 500. You spent anthropology, so it says you recall an extreme weather event of 535 to 536 where cultures all over the world experience colder than average weather, crop failures, and weakened sunlight, believed to be due to a massive volcanic eruption or impact event. So the fact that she's saying maybe not that thing, maybe actually Wendigo, is kind of tickling your conspiracy brain. But yeah, you have to imagine that, considering she name dropped the year 500, and you remember that little thing, that fact and stuff like that, you're like, oh, okay, it's all connected.
Was there any? So do you know what set people out to okay, we're gonna do this walk? That's why we're gonna do this to appease the Wendigo. Do you know anything about what caused that to happen?
Yeah. So I want to say it was nearly 1,500 years ago. Before the Ojibwe people migrated to the area, the people who farmed the land suffered from a year with no harvest. This was all passed down via oral, so it's a little, some stuff changes over time, but for the most part, it's all right. But there was a year 1,500 years ago where there was just a bitter cold, no harvest for that whole year. Bitter winds blew in and covered the clouds and everything like that. And the Wendigo started apparently feeding on people at that time. And really the only way to kind of stop his, violent reign of terror was to just kind of appease him via offering of a sacrifice. And it seemed like since that day, that's what we've been doing every once or twice a year since then. So we go through a lot of people and everything like that, but it is what it is.
I don't have any more questions, I think, other than
Has anybody ever tried to kill it and stop this from ever happening?
Yeah, we've had a few. We've had a few trying to make deals with it or, appease it in other ways and everything. It's hard to tell exactly how people have tried. There's people who have sworn to do something before they go out and then we never see them again, so we just assume it didn't work. Clearly your friend Dunlap here had some sort of plan with using this scary thing he's got. I don't know what the plan exactly was. What did he tell you?
He said he was going to do an incantation, but he thinks he screwed it up, if memory serves.
Didn't he say he was going to bind it to this thing?
Yeah. Yeah, that was right.
Interesting. We don't do incantations, so that's not us at all. That's more of definitely seems more like a Witten thing, for sure. But, that's fun. Did it work? No, but it's fun to think about, I guess.
And what is in Witten now?
There's a cult that moved in.
Okay.
worships the Wendigo. They have a different name for it. I can't remember it, but Wendigo looks like a Wendigo, smells like a Wendigo. It's a duck.
What does a Wendigo smell like?
And
Bad.
I mean, they're the only people that you know that have been able to protect themselves, even for a short while, from this, right?
who?
The Witten young horses, whatever they're called, the colts or.
The Witten cult? Well, we don't know how they're dealing with it because none of us want to go up there on account of them being scary and violent. But we try to keep our distance from them.
Let's do it. Well, how do you get to Witten?
Not telling you that one.
Well, you got a photographic map.
Yeah, I don't want to be responsible for it. If you find your own way there, that's fine, but I'm not going to be the one that guides your hand.
All right. They said we came from a grocery store. They said there's a general store. Y'all sell weapons?
What's the no?
Do you sell axes?
I just want to talk to it.
I just want to talk to Witten. I'm gonna. Well, it's getting late. I want to say the sun is starting to set now. And she's like, as she starts to stand up, and you hear the guy inside the shop go, "Oh, Yesha, the cash register's on the fritz." And Ayasha's just like, "Wait, what?" She kind of walks over into the grocery store, and you kind of feel your phones in your pockets kind of like start vibrating weirdly.
Check.
All of ours?
Yeah.
Even mine? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So you notice that your phones are they're all just kind of like on the fritz, like they're vibrating and the screens are all messed up and kind of glitching and everything. It only happens for a brief moment, but and then they kind of flick back. It kind of reminds you of what happened when the wolves were attacking the other night. How you couldn't, one of you tried to call police or something like that or something, and you noticed your phone. Oh, you tried to take a picture. That's what it was like. You couldn't take a picture because your phone was on the fritz. The same sort of thing's happening. You see everybody in town is looking at each other with this grim look on their face as they all kind of look between each other.
Oh, that's odd.
Do they do anything else?
They all have weapons?
They all have weapons. They all have shotguns. No. You see them all kind of look to each other, and then they all start to kind of walk towards the center of town. And people are coming out of their houses and everything, so even more people are starting to kind of flood the streets. Considering it's starting to get dark, you see a couple of them have torches and flashlights and just other lighting sources with them and stuff. But there's this kind of slow trudge towards the center of town. And you see Ayasha just kind of kind of put her hands on the cash register and look up at her nephew and then look to you guys and just go, "It's best if you all go to the inn tonight." And then she picks up kind of a flashlight, and her and the boy kind of walk out of the general store. And kind of follow the crowd, join the flow.
All right. What do you boys want to do?
I think follow the crowd for a little bit and just see what's up.
All right, let's see if we can hide behind them. I never asked, are the Ojibwe horror movie stereotypical, or are they wearing normal clothes?
They're all very normal clothes. They're all modern.
Okay, cool.
You see occasional Native American kind of decor attire, occasionally maybe a necklace or a hairpiece or something like that, but nothing too stereotypical or anything. It's all very classy, and they're all very modern people and stuff. So
it's all very offensive.
Yeah, it's all extremely offensive.
Well,
have you ever seen Looney Tunes?
Yeah.
I'm wondering if I pull a zero on my disguise of at least throwing up a heavy hat just to kind of help block the face a little bit. I'm assuming Linc has a hoodie, and Beau is grabbing. Oh yeah.
But yeah, no, I want to say if you spend a point in disguise, you can blend in with the crowd enough, even just with mannerisms. You don't necessarily need to do it in any such a way that like you have to actually wear anything, but you just kind of act like a local, and you just kind of join the crowd. Yes, everybody is funneled to the center of town. Ojibwe and the people of the other part of the town as well. Just all the citizens of Four Pines and outside its area have funneled in. They're all standing in town, and you see the sheriff standing on like kind of a kind of this like there's like a fountain in the center of town, I want to say, and he's standing on like the edge of it just so that he has a little bit more elevation over everyone. Jarrett Sterling is standing next to him, and so is Ayasha, and they're all kind of like looking grimly as they're waiting for everybody to kind of file in and like, you know, settle in and everything. You see like lit torches as the sun has gone down and everything like that. It's not all the way down or anything, but it's just like there's that like really dim end of dusk and stuff like that going on. And they're just like, okay, well, that's the first sign, says the sheriff, and he's standing there. You guys are kind of closer to the front. Because of the disguise check that Patches did, where you just kind of signaled to them how you should walk to kind of look like a local and everything, so nobody really questions you guys. People, if they look directly at you, they're like, I don't recognize him, which is a weird thing in Four Pines because, you know, everybody kind of knows everybody, but they're willing to admit, like, there's a good sizable amount of people there, and they're willing to admit, they're just like, he's probably just somebody I never interacted with or something, so, but yeah. The sheriff's just like, well, we got the first sign. You know what that means. Means we must do another Coldest Walk, and soon. Within the next 3 days. The Aurora will be out, and the Wendigo must be appeased. I know none of us want to do this, but do we have any volunteers? And there's just kind of a silence. And you see the two hunters that Beau was kind of trying to talk to. He's just like, what if we got outsiders this year? Why do we have to have one of us? We had a couple outsiders come in. They're kind of like looking for you and stuff like that. Give me, let's see, disguise is a general ability. I want all of you to give me a disguise or conceal check. I want to say to pass, it's 3.
Okay,
Did I use disguise earlier?
Not that I'm aware of.
I threw a point.
I'm gonna roll a conceal.
Wait, you took a drink. That's why.
Oh, I was hiding from my dad. That's right.
I was hiding from my dad.
Oh man! All right. Well, I'll spend my last point. Fucking whatever.
We have to roll, right?
Yeah. So Patches is good. It looks like Beau's good. And moment of truth. Don't fuck it up for your dad. You got a 5? Or no, that's still Beau. That's still Beau.
2! 1 + 1, baby.
Them over there. Yeah, that's the ones. So they kind of out you, and everybody kind of looks at you for a second, and the sheriff just goes, "Now hold on, we don't want to bring outsiders into this. Who do we become if we start making outsiders go on the Coldest Walk? This is our burden to bear, and it's the thing that, you know, our town has always done for us. We stand at the front lines of the precipice of darkness, and we're the ones fighting it back. It should not be an outsider that needs to take on the reins. We're trying to do this so that they don't have to." So he kind of berates these hunters for kind of calling you out. And you see the other hunter. Out of
curiosity, all 3 of us got called out, or just Linc?
Linc, but because you're all standing next to him, you all got called out as a result.
All right, quick psychic moment back with Beau. Seriously.
God forgive me for the son I cannot change.
Like, it's not like the Mambo where we all had to be in line, Beau.
Listen, Patches, I think, honestly, right now, even with the mind power that we have, it's probably not the best time for this conversation.
When is a good time, Beau? When is a good time?
You always say that.
Every time we try to have a mind power talk about your boy.
I want him to do good in this world.
You see,
anyway,
Imagine you're
back to the
homeless.
cops.
Wait, what were you saying? Or was it just more goofs and gags? Okay. But you see the other hunters just like, fine, if we aren't going to do outsiders, why don't we have somebody old do it? After all, they got nothing left to live for so long. We should not do that. And you see Ayasha go, hey, that's not the way to go. If anything, younger people stand a better chance of escaping, getting away, coming back as a survivor. I don't think it's fair to just worship up all the old in our town. We shouldn't just be offering up people based on some arbitrary thing. We should try for volunteers first and see if anybody wants to take on the privilege, and then from there, if we have to do a draft, we have to, but like we can't just arbitrarily start making calls for people and having them live a stressful life thinking they're going to be next.
Beau looks to Patches and then looks to Linc. He's trying to discern from Linc if like going on this would expedite his like should I just get this out of the way? Like, is this essentially like, is this what you're gonna do, you fucking idiot? Because if so, then Beau will be the one to like volunteer, but he's trying to get like a vibe check. He knows Patches is gonna hate this either way.
Before you get that, you're thinking that, and you maybe think about possibly taking a step forward. Jarrett Sterling steps forward and says, "I'll do it." And everyone just kind of looks at him because they all had heard by now that his daughter was one of the bodies that was recovered and stuff like that. So he knows and stuff like that. He's like, "I'll do it." It's always been Sterling's leading the way on these things. And the Lord knows I'm one of the last ones, so I'll do it. Yeah, the other two leaders of the town, like the sheriff and the Ayasha, are just like, okay, would anybody like to go with him? Or and you see one of the hunters, like the third hunter, he just kind of goes, "I'll go with." And then the other two hunters kind of look at him like, "Your funeral." So like that. But yeah, this guy in kind of first steps forward, and he's got like a kind of a long rifle and stuff. He kind of plops it down and everything. Yeah, those are the only two that step forward. There's like, okay, well, I mean, one's enough, but glad you got company at least. So you got a day before you got to head out, and God be with you, I guess. If he's even still up there at this point, the sheriff says. And you see the town just kind of like all they like kind of don't know how to like process this moment too well. Like, it's not like people should be cheering and nobody really like wants to cry or anything like that, but they all kind of slowly start to disperse as the decision has been made. And you see the sheriff and Ayasha talking to the hunter and Jarrett as the crowd starts to disperse. And the night has fallen, and you see the aurora like over the town, and it's getting colder.
Beau looks back to Patches and Linc and goes, "Well, that took a turn. Listen, I think that getting back to the motel is where we're going to find the Sterling man if we want to talk to him. I think, Linc, if you want to find this thing, us participating not only increases Mr. Sterling's chances of survival, but increases our odds of getting this out of your system."
Yeah, I think we should go with him for sure. Are we gonna have time to go to Witten beforehand?
They said it's tomorrow they're leaving.
Yeah.
I would love to go, but I'm afraid that if we push through the night, well, we don't even know where this place is. No one seems keen to take us. But I think that a long night's rest is going to be more helpful to us than anything we might find there.
Yeah, that's probably true.
assess honesty. Oh, I'd love to go, but to the town where they said a cult lives that none of us want to go to.
I mean, listen, Beau's a big fan of his full 8 hours. He goes to sleep promptly at 8 p.m. so that he can wake up by 4. It's already close to bedtime.
Cat just has a spidey sense tingling, and it's just like, Beau, your boy's gonna lie to you. We should just go now and just do it to protect the boy.
You want to get
Look
started
at that
before
damn
they-
smirk. Huh?
You want to get started before these people all head out?
I think we're gonna need to find answers because, hey, Smirky, you gonna smirk some more? That's
I don't
what
know.
I'm thinking.
I don't know.
All right. Then. Well, it sounds like Patches, you got insight. Lincoln, you've got your mind made up. And me, I think I'm gonna need a fresh bag of those voodoo chips.
There you go, brother.
But
Yeah, we should probably
takes the bag and like just puts it inside his Carhartt.
We should probably see if we can get any supplies from the general store or, grocery store before we head out, though.
Well, y'all had nothing but complaints last time I bought snacks, so why don't one of you hit the grocery store and I'll head over to the general.
Nope, I'm getting weapons. Let's go.
All right, I'll be in charge of food.
Don't you damn run away, boy.
I'm not gonna run away.
I'm with your dad. He will sniff you out in the woods.
As you turn to go to back to the general store, why don't you give me a sense trouble check, Beau Hansen?
Beau Hansen.
Still in the middle
I
of town square, by the way, just to reiterate where you are. I want to say there's like barely any people left, but you do see Jarrett, the sheriff, and the hunter talking. And Ayasha has started to go back to the general store and stuff, but that's kind of where the situation is right now.
Hell yeah. I am going to burn 2 points.
Nice. As everyone's kind of dispersing, again, maybe 4 blocks away, you catch out of the corner of your eye a figure that kind of looks like the figure that you saw in the woods standing behind a building, and you catch them just as they're like standing there and then walk off. Like,
How
behind the
far
building.
away?
Like 4 blocks away, so decent, even further than they were last time.
Yeah. Woodman. Yeah, I mean, like that's not distance Beau can close. So
No,
like,
yeah, exactly. It's
I could
definitely
sprint after him, but he's gonna
yeah.
be gone by the time I get anywhere.
for sure, for sure. With that, we'll say you go back to the general store. You can just roll preparedness to see what you need as you need it. So we'll just say you grabbed whatever you needed, and we'll see in the moment if you still have it. With that, what's up, Patches?
One important question, since we're in the great state of Wisconsin, because I don't remember, are fireworks legal?
Yes, they are.
Yes,
Perfect.
I went to college there.
There you go. Yeah, you got fireworks. Nice.
I know they're legal in Michigan.
I would also say like decent sized stores ranging from like Walmart's on down to like the couple of general stores I went to, there will be at least sidearms, if not a hunting rifle or 2.
Nope. We're gonna do that scene in Commando, not quite literally, driving through the army surplus store picking up stuff. We're just gonna walk right in. I'm buying a duffel bag. I'm just gonna start loading it up with fireworks, the big M80s. You can get your damn bow and whatever to it. I know how I'm gonna fucking take this down when I see it. I'm gonna be prepared.
It shows like this quick montage thing of you like getting a duffel bag, picking a gun off of the wall, slamming it down on the counter, picking 2 other guns off the wall, slamming it down on the counter, the clerk going, "I'm not selling you these." What, do you think this is an action movie? I'm not selling you these. Are you crazy? You clearly are going doing something with these. In fact, I should call the police. What are you doing?
We do the whole montage. It's like 5 minutes of like.
Just completely berated and told to get out of the store, and you buy things that you could buy over the counter, like a bow and arrow, and like Slim Jims.
You got rope.
Yeah. What are you, crazy? I'm not telling you all these. Yeah, I want to say you go to the general store, you get anything you need, and in the moment you can roll preparedness if you need to, or we can do some other thing involving preparedness. I want to say, if you want, we can make this a bit more tense by saying you have 2 uses of burning to be like, I have this on me. And then anything after that, you'd have to roll preparedness. So you have 2 uses of that. You can make it up on the spot just to be like, I bought this at the general store and I had it in my back pocket kind of thing. But like, you get 2 slots for that. But
they will not sell us any, like, what's the threshold of like damage dealing thing I can get?
I want to say the most weapon-like weapons you can get are probably like machetes or anything you could probably buy or easily over the counter of a Walmart as like a 15-year-old. So like you could buy like a bow and arrow and like, you know, a machete or something like that. But like it kind of stops at firearms. They don't really, they feel suspicious about you buying those as outsiders. So they're like,
I take umbrage as a Wisconsin resident, but I hear you.
Yeah, well, it's more so Fort Pines. You just witnessed rather than they're just like, we don't want you stopping the Coldest Walk. Let's do that.
Yeah, I think Beau's gonna grab like a standard hand axe. And then I'm gonna leave my other one for improv.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm gonna burn too, so I'm
voodoo chips.
80?
Voodoo chips.
No, I still got 2. We're good. We're good. A box of M80 explosives and Roman candles.
I like this. That's fine. Linc, did you have anything you wanted to burn immediately? Or you just want to wait and see what happens?
I think Link's gonna wait. Yeah, I think I'm gonna wait.
I feel like whatever you have is childlike and whimsical anyway, so it's like, it's bubblegum attached to a chainsaw.
It's the flaming marshmallow arrow from Gremlins 2.
Yeah. I bought a replica of... with that, where do you guys go? Do you want to head back to the inn and kind of gather your stuff, or what do you want to do?
I mean, what else do we got? I'm thinking we should go to Witten.
That's what I think too. I think we should go to Witten.
Yeah, I'd say Beau's gonna do his best to remember the map, remember like where he is now, the direction Witten is, and you know, they're gonna suit up.
I think that's a good idea. I think to kind of make this feel more natural, I want to say you guys probably went back to the inn because it's close by anyway. The map was in the inn, so you'd probably be kind of like looking at it and seeing like, okay, where is Witten in comparison to where we are, and like how would we, are there any roads kind of leading to it and stuff. So you're kind of digesting the map to Witten. You see Jarrett and the hunter kind of talking at the bar. And then as you're kind of, and like the night's kind of getting later and later and the fireplace is still going, Jarrett's wife is like crying, but she's gone to bed and everything like that. But then Jarrett heads up to his room, and you see the hunter just kind of sitting by the fire. Like he's just kind of looking at it. Like it's kind of going to be like the last time he gets to look at it and everything. His 2 friends aren't there or anything. Jarrett starts to go up to his room, and you hear a scream. And the hunter stands up.
Yeah, Beau charges up toward wherever that came from.
Yeah, I want to say the hunter's behind you. You open the door to, I guess, Jarrett's room. Like, you imagine it. Well, you try to. It's locked. You get up there, and you're, like, jiggling the handle, and you can't really get it open. And you hear, like, a scuffle on the inside of that room.
Hand axe at the handle. We'll take
give me, let's see...
Weapons?
Yeah, that seems about right. Weapons would work. Yeah.
Burn 1. Great.
So it takes you a bit. You're the roll 20 hates you guys. You're like hacking away at it. You hear the scuffle on the inside. The door finally like chops open, and you manage to open it, and you see Jared being strangled by a guy in his window. Like the guy is hanging out of his window, and he's got Jared, and you see him pull him through the window. And the wife is kind of like at the other end of the room, like just kind of screaming, like, "Oh my God, somebody's taking Jarrett" and stuff. You see the hunter immediately go to potentially take a shot, and then an axe goes right into his neck from behind you guys. And there's like this kind of guy standing there with an axe, and he kind of yanks the hunter away, like down the stairs, and kind of starts dragging him out the door. It's this guy that he does not look like a local to Four Pines. He's wearing kind of like red and black kind of, I wouldn't say they're kind of like robes, but they're more like just rags, like it just like all patchwork on his body. He's kind of skinny and pale, and like he has this kind of like blue paint on his face that kind of make him look like he's, you know, clearly worshiping something. But he's dragging the hunter out, and the hunter's like like trying to scream, and blood's just going everywhere as his body's being dragged out the front door. And you just see like this blood trail go down the stairs and towards the door.
He's taking him out slowly, right? Can I? I'm gonna grab the gun and try to shoot it.
That's a good idea. Give me a weapons check. I'm gonna say it's gonna be kind of high, but I'm not gonna give you a number.
There's also a specific firearms ability in case Patches.
Oh yeah, actually give me. Well, I'll let you do firearms or weapons, whatever you're better at.
I don't know if either.
Well, that didn't do it. You shoot the wall, and it doesn't seem to deter this cultist at all. And he manages to drag the guy out the door in like one big strong like pull, and you see like the hunter just kind of disappear into the darkness outside.
Beau rushes to the window that so got pulled out of to like look out and see like where this guy came from, how he got up there.
You see what looks like a makeshift ladder that gets pulled down, like right as you're looking out, so you can't like, you know, go down it. And they're in kind of like this ramshackle old Jeep, but there's like 3 other cultists, and you see the one guy that had the hunter by the neck. He kind of like rips the axe out of the guy's neck, and his head is like barely on its neck at this point, and he's gone limp. But they take the body with them into the truck, and just as they're leaving, like the Jeep makes its rackety old sound as it boots up and like, you know, kind of thing. Right as they're leaving, you see in the back of the Jeep 2 of the cultists take that guy's dead body, and they start eating like the neck hole of this hunter as they're like kind of driving away. That's definitely some sort of check. Let's go with stability check. All of you give me a well, okay, I think Beau is the only one that saw that, so Beau, give me a stability check. Okay, so you lose 2 stability. Watching all that happen. But Jarrett, important to note, Jarrett seems completely alive. They haven't done anything to him as far as you can tell. They just kind of captured him and tied a rope around him.
Like, is the Jeep full and welly gone? Like, is it?
Yeah, I want to say it got away.
Yeah. Okay. Beau like looks back into the room, sees Jarrett's wife, sees Linc, sees Patches, and just goes, I think the important thing to note is that Jarrett is still alive. Ma'am, do you have any firearms or weapons in the house if we were to go after him?
She looks around the room, not really sure what to do, and she takes the upside down pineapple vase, turns it back upside right, twists off the top, and there's a handgun inside. I have this.
She goes, I'll take that, and he puts the sidearm like just into like his belt loop, and then he closes the pineapple and turns it back upside down and goes, and we'll be back for you.
Patches, it's not the time. Or sorry, Beau, that's not the way to talk to a pretty lady.
Patches has to tell himself. Patches is not the time.
Beau is going to like exit the room and like as he's leaving, just grab the rifle out of Patch's hands.
It's fine.
And he's gonna make his way down the stairs.
Wait, before you leave, how are we gonna get after them? You gonna go skip? Do you have a vehicle or something that we can go after them quickly to get your husband?
Maybe the sheriff?
You don't have a car?
Beau has made his way out of the motel. Are there any cars he can see?
There's like one or two. Most people seem to just kind of walk around everywhere in Winton, or no?
Yeah, sure.
Four Pines.
Yeah, I gotcha. No, I really dumped into mechanical repair, and so Beau is going to just go to the closest one and see if it's open. And if it's open, he's going to attempt a hotwire.
I want to say it's open, but yes, you have to attempt a hotwire because they keep the keys on them, but they don't expect anyone to do this.
100%. 1d6. Let's give it another 3.
Yeah, you hear the boom as it starts up. It's a Ford. It's a what was the beige demon? 1975 Crown Victoria. Yeah, it's a Crown Victoria.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful car, beautiful boat of a car.
Old Crown Vic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Patches, you're talking to her, and you just hear a car start outside.
Never mind, that's my brother. All right, we're gonna be going.
Did you guys just hotwire my car? She holds up the keys to her.
Linc will grab them. Linc will grab the keys on the way out.
I hear her I take out one chip and go, take one now. We're gonna get some more later. All right, you stay safe.
She just kind of sits back, and then she sees the blood trail. And then, like, the camera pans over to the blood trail, pans back to her, and she's already got rubber gloves and, like, a cleaning kit. Because she's always wanted to keep, like, the inn completely spotless and stuff. It's like, I guess I'm cleaning this tonight. But yes, you give chase to the cultists. Let's see. What is some sort of check you can give?
Writing.
There's a driving.
Give me that one. That sounds great.
Patches, do you have any drive?
Hmm?
Do you have any driving? Do you have skill? You have no skill. Linc, do you have any drive?
I have the feeling I don't, but let me look.
You are a child.
I'm not a child. I'm not a child. I'm like 19.
It's a driving general skill.
General. I do not have anything in driving.
Because I have a feeling I'm also the only one with anything in firearms, and I have both of them right now.
I have nothing in firearms.
Nope, nothing in firearms.
In that instance,
all I have is explosions.
In that instance, when you guys come out, Beau is sitting shotgun in the hot-wired car, with the window down, because he has the rifle. He's going to call out to Linc and just go, Linc, do you remember the rules of the road that I taught you?
Yeah, what is it? 10 and 1, 10 and right?
2. Sure, that's also fine. Actually, the modern idea is now you keep it at 6, that way the airbag doesn't hit you in the face. But I want you to forget most of those outside the 6 and your seatbelt. I need you to catch those boys.
All right.
Patches, get in the back.
You gonna give me the other gun?
He just literally tosses the handgun. Blows off Beau's head. He's
oh, Jesus! What a way to end it. Ricochets off of the car and kills all 3 of you. The rest of the scenario is just me narrating how the sheriff saves the day.
The tow truck driver finds us because he's returning my car.
Oh my god! Again! No, not again! All right. With that, give me a drive check.
All right.
It's gonna just be raw. Okay, so you get there very late. Night is definitely in full bloom now. The aurora is going overhead. But you followed their very easy to follow trail, as there's like, tire tracks and blood that kind of lead through the woods. They weren't being very, subtle about how they got to where they were going. And you find yourself on the outskirts of the town of Witten. It's very, very old, very decrepit, but as it's nightfall, you can tell there's a giant bonfire brewing in the middle of town. And there seems to be a lot of commotion happening in this dead town. More cultists have seemed to have gathered around this bonfire and everything like that. You see that the blood trail of the hunter starts to kind of teeter off, but it leads towards a specific building. But it's a very small town. The buildings are all very dilapidated. Like, they haven't rebuilt the town at all. It's these buildings are not habitable, but they've made do. And the snow is piled up and everything like that. But yes, you have the cover of nightfall, and you arrived later, so they weren't really expecting you or anything like that. And you are on the outskirts of town.
Hey, Beau, remember that bad weekend in Croton? This feels like that bad weekend in Croton.
Remember that time we took that summer vacay in Krakatoa?
You all remember when Bobby Boucher ended up out? Barbara Brand reference. It might be a bit worse than that, Patches.
You mean like Grant? Sure. Feels a lot like Grant.
Beau is gonna try to get line of sight on the interior of the building without going inside. Like, you said they're pretty heavily dilapidated.
Yeah, you could probably do that. I would say you need some sort of a skill for that. Not necessarily a general one, but probably something.
I've got I got stealth if I'm sneaking around. Got conceal, got
I'm gonna say, shadowing seems interesting, but stealth is probably fine. Or you can, again, tell somebody else who has maybe some of these things to go take a look, see what they see or whatever. I'm gonna say...
I got stealth.
Yeah, stealth is pretty good. Everybody
got
stealth. What's with you guys? What is with you? Ooh, nice. Yeah, so you sneak up to the doorway the house that the blood trail kind of leads to, and you wish you had it. So what you see is there's a big guy inside there, and he's at a butcher's table kind of thing. You see the furs of the hunter have been put in a wastebasket, and they're all covered in blood and everything like that. And this guy is just hacking away at the corpse of the hunter, and occasionally he takes a bite of a little bit of a little treat for himself as the butcher, as he kind of puts it. Again, this guy is massive. He's wearing an apron and everything. You can tell he has some of this blue paint on him as well. But he's wearing a mask as he's doing this, probably just to keep the gore out of his eyes, as he's just hacking with no tact or anything, just unceremoniously cutting this guy to pieces to store for later and everything like that. He's got blue paint up his arms as well, what isn't covered by gloves and everything. Actually, he doesn't give a shit about gloves. He's not being sanitary. But yeah, cuts his thumb off.
Eats that.
Yeah, eats that. It's just so it's free real estate. But yeah, that's what you see in there. You don't see any signs of Jarrett, which is good.
Okay, I probably put my turn back, put my back to the wall, try to lock eyes with Patches, and do weird mind meld we've established that we can do, um, to basically relay what I've seen.
You just go. No text needed. Just shake your head.
Can I throw some sense trouble and see what else is kind of brewing?
Sure. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, go ahead and give me a sense trouble. There's a bunch of cultists. No, just kidding. Just kind of around, just kind of everywhere. No, so you look to. It seems like a good chunk of them are in the center of town. They all seem to be celebrating something. There's a bonfire that's like taller than a building in the center of town. Like they burned just the building in the center of town and are just celebrating around it and everything. You don't see Jarrett anywhere near the fire. It's not like they're burning him or anything like that. They've painted some sort of symbol around the fire, and they're all kind of like dancing to it, and you hear them chanting one word over and over again. Ithaqwa! 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 And they're like kind of dancing and saying that over and over again. But yeah, that's what you're kind of seeing. And you don't really sense any on the outskirts. Like they don't seem to, it's not like they have like guard posted or anything like that. Like they're literally just like, yeah, we're just kind of like celebrating here, man. Like there's no like order here, you know what I mean? It's just kind of a bunch of people partying in the middle of the woods. So.
Well, you know what? Fuck it. I've lost my mind. I've seen shit go crazy today. I'm just gonna fucking take one of my M80s and I'm gonna throw it in the middle and light it up. I'm gonna get their damn attention.
Into the bonfire?
Yes.
That would probably work, actually. Go ahead and let's see what's good for this.
Explosives?
Probably. Yeah. Yeah, it's explosives. I guess it's a whole thing, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, that'd do it. That'd do it. Give me an explosives check. Wow.
What did I get? What did I get?
You got a 1.
No!
You blow off your finger.
You're gonna blow off your damn fucking arm. Bitches, you blew off your damn arm, bitches.
Bounces off the walls, kills all of us.
I want to say what ends up happening is
like, it just pops, but it's like the little the things that you throw when you're a kid.
I want to say you light it, and it goes way faster than you anticipate. So you're about to throw it, and you see that it's like about to go off in your hand. So you drop it, and it just kind of right in front of you, which isn't great. You don't get hurt at all by it. Like you manage to kind of drop it in such a way that it's like not gonna kill you or anything like that. But once the like shell shock kind of dissipates, you realize they're all looking at you.
All right, at this
everybody
second,
at the bonfire.
I got this. I got this. At this exact second, I am beyond frustrated. I'm really angry. I'm doing the damn noise. It's just what the hell is going on? I just want someone to explain to me why a man is beheaded and they're all you just dancing motherfuckers and boom booms and what is going on here?
They're all just kind of staring at you. Just like, you see the butcher kind of open the door to the thing, and he's got like a very, very large machete, and he kind of steps out into the snow. He's covered in blood, like enough that he's still dripping it into the snow as he walks. And he's got like one of those welding masks on. And he's completely bald, but you see like just patterns of like paint on him and stuff like that as he steps out into the snow.
The moment he clears the corner where Beau is going to line up and take the shot.
Nice. Give me a firearms.
Gonna burn 2 that seems important.
Can't wait for you to roll 1 again.
It just says rolling the dice.
Oh, thank God, you actually
There
got
you go.
something. So, you blow off half his head, like just the mask kind of is shattered in that spot, and just and his brain just kind of like shoots across the snow and everything, and he keeps walking towards you. He doesn't seem to be too perturbed by the fact that half of his brain has been exploded off of his head. But he does like that, and then he just kind of like keeps walking. Everybody else has decided he's got this, and they go back to celebrating around the campfire and stuff. You hear the chanting pick back up, "Ethok wa, Ethok wa," and stuff like that.
I immediately saw this.
I was gonna say, I'm like, who's he headed toward? Is he headed toward me now? Or
I want to say his
back?
aggro has been directed at Beau. That makes sense.
Just checking.
Yeah, and you see like he opens his mouth and like just blood comes out of it. But yeah, this guy is like just bloody. But what you do notice is that his brain starts to kind of like frost over. Like there's like kind of like ice spikes starting to come out of it and stuff like that. Is it like it's not necessarily repairing, but it's like it reminds you of the wolves that you saw. Mm-hmm. And yeah, he takes a couple more steps towards you and he starts to lift the machete.
I don't have anything on me.
Didn't you buy a bag of M80s?
Yeah, I'm not thinking of that right now. I see Blood Skull.
Blood Skull.
I'm actually gonna throw. I'm gonna use. F it. How do you do the +2 to the roll? Because I'm gonna do 2 out athletics. I'm gonna try to tackle it.
You do the command and then space plus and then the number.
Or you can just tell me you add 2 to whatever you roll, and I'm cool with
that. Works too.
But then it doesn't show up in the chat, dude.
Yeah, then everybody.
How will we know?
Well, it doesn't matter.
Wow, you got 8. You got. Oh, what's +2 to that?
Oh Jesus.
So what'd you do?
No.
I got 8.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, then I basically was able to run up to him, not only run up to him, but as he's bewildering towards Beau, I slide in, kick between his feet, trip him. He falls down. Please to God, the axe hits him in the face again. Or the butcher knife.
Ooh, that's not a bad idea. Yeah, I want to say he like lands on it. And well, no, I want to say I said he had it raised, so he probably just drops it.
Okay. Well, then I at least trip him down. He completely goes down, and immediately I go, Beau, it's time to run.
Linc, while the 2 brothers are fighting the butcher, what would you like to do?
Linc is rolling. Linc does see this, but I'm gonna roll stealth. What I want to use is my first item to start taking pictures. My item is a disposable camera, so it's not electronic.
Ooh, yeah, good idea. So you're rolling stealth?
Yeah, and I'm gonna spend 2. Take pictures of this interaction and of the cultists in general.
Okay. Alrighty, yeah, that's good enough. So you kind of run into the building that the butcher came out of as they're dealing with it. Because you can see from the outside after he came out of it that there's nobody else in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it used to be a 2-story building. There's still kind of a second floor, but it's not really accessible as the staircase is dilapidated and kind of falling apart and stuff. This room seems to be some sort of butchery, and it's full of dead people and stuff. Probably going to have you roll a stability check for that one, but but it's also got other things in it. Like one of them is a little station that it looks like has those totems that you picked up, the skeletal one that's scary looking. You realize now that the newer ones are made out of bone, like human bone, and they what's it called? They feel like they're kind of brimming with something, and that you kind of find those in there. You also can spot from this building as you're taking pictures that there seems to be a pit beyond the bonfire, like kind of near the bonfire, and you can kind of hear somebody yelling for help from in there.
Okay. I will take the totems. And
All of them?
yeah.
Nice. Also, give me a stability check.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, fair.
I'm just gonna do it natty.
Oh,
Oh man! Oh, beans.
Not good.
One.
It's not good, really.
Oh, beans.
Beans. Beans. I want to say you take 3 stability damage because you're in a room full of dead, cut up bodies. And
Yeah,
this is just like one of those horror movies.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's your turn. So we've cut back to Patches and Beau in a scuffle with the bloody butcher. He's currently on the ground. Patches is holding his legs as they're like tussling in the snow. And Beau, you have a gun. You have to reload because it's one of those one-shot rifles. That's
Oh yeah, absolutely, bolt action, not a problem.
Yep.
So Beau, Patches is on the ground. The butcher is on the ground.
Yeah,
and
the butcher's knife is away from him. Yes, he's trying to kind of claw for it, and he's strong enough that he's actually dragging Patches with him as he's trying to get to it, but it's still got a little bit of distance.
So I'm gonna break for the machete, and then so Beau is going to kind of surge forward, try to toss the gun to Patches, and then grab the machete to turn and decapitate the butcher.
I want to make this a double thing because this could end very funny. So I want you to, let's see, give me scuffling for throwing the gun. Or weapons. I'll take scuffling or weapons.
I'll do scuffling because I've got more left there.
You got... Oh, for a second I didn't see yours. I saw Ty's one, and I was just like, what is with you guys today? Okay, so you managed to successfully throw... You threw the rifle?
Yeah. I don't have the handgun anymore. Patches has that.
That's true. So Patches is loaded. Yeah, so Patches, you see the rifle flying towards you, and it kind of lands in the snow near you, but again, you're holding this guy's ankles as he's dragging you along, so that's not... the butcher won't be able to grab it. Not that he seems to care about it at all. Now, give me a scuffling check for using the butcher knife, because you grab it before he does.
Who needs it?
Beau.
A 3.
A 3. So you grab it and you stab into the butcher, and he kind of makes kind of a silent, bloody yell as he kind of whoa, and you see blood come out of his mouth. And stuff like that, but he doesn't seem to be dying from it, and the butcher knife kind of freezes into his body from the open wound, so it's stuck in him now. And he grabs your ankle. I want to say, give me an athletics check. It's just, this is very a brother buddy cop comedy action scene.
Oh yeah.
Fighting a big guy. It just takes 2 of you and it's not going well. Is that you?
7.
You got a 7. Okay. Yeah, he goes to grab you, but you don't fall down. You manage to slip your leg out from his grasp and stuff like that. Meanwhile, from his head, you see out of the frost, a little kind of hand is starting to kind of make its way kind of out, and it's going like this. For funsies, imagine like a puppet visual, what's it called, practical effect in the movie of this. It's just
100% what I got.
Patches, what are you doing? You're still holding his ankles at this point.
How tall is he again?
This guy is 7 feet tall.
So Andre the Giant tall?
Yeah, he's pretty big.
Okay. Oh God, I want to attempt to see if I can scuffle out the knife out of the frozen spot. Hopefully, it didn't freeze too much.
Yeah, you can try that.
Yeah, let me.
You do have the rifle too, by the way, because Beau threw it to you as an option.
Firearms training. I'm not comfortable.
I don't like.
Yes.
Why'd you do this, Beau?
The calm reason that Patches has always shown us throughout the film.
All right.
I'm not proud really trained in this, Beau. This was irresponsible. Anyway, to give some drugs to your child now. Like, yeah, real patches.
It's real patches of you.
All right. I knew I shouldn't have given them voodoo chips. All right. 5.
You got a 5, and you were reaching for the knife?
Yeah.
I want to say you grab it and you manage to kind of get it out a little bit, and it sinks back in. It's kind of like you're using one of those like paper cutter things into his body, and you like manage to actually saw his arm off when he does that. And again, another little, almost immediately, another weird little arm. So now there's 3 strange creature arms kind of shooting out of his body, and they look like kind of like weird little skeletal like things, and they just keep moving and stuff like that. And
okay, not like baby hands, right? Because
no,
really frightening.
They're long and everything like that, but they're just like, yeah, they're just very skeletal and everything. So they're very thin and skinny and creepy looking, and they're all like kind of like blue, like as if they're frozen and everything like that. But yeah, this guy's just kind of riddled with. With that, we cut back to Linc. Linc, you notice the pit. That's where we last left you off. And there's a bunch of cultists between you and it.
Yes. Bunch of cultists. I think they don't know where I am yet, but I don't have any weapons. I think I still have my stealth. I think I'm gonna try to sneak closer.
Okay. Yeah, get stealth. You're sneaking closer to the pit or the bonfire?
To the No, to the pit.
That makes sense. You spending anything?
Yes, I will spend one more.
Killing a man. Oh, that's pretty low, but just good enough. What is with low rolls today?
Yeah.
You managed to get to the pit. You think somebody saw you, but you aren't entirely sure. But so far, you've suffered no repercussions. And you're like, okay. And you look into the pit, and you see Jarrett in the pit. And he sees you, and he's about to shout, but then he kind of knows better than that. Okay. And but he does stop shouting, which also kind of seems, a little like, if anybody's like listening to him, they're just like, but yeah, he looks all right. Like he's been kind of beaten up a little bit, but for the most part, he's doing all right. And he just kind of like, he's just like, and stuff like that. That's what you see.
Can I get down? I like to try to get down to him and like untie him.
Yeah, you can. There's a couple of ways you could probably do that. Do you have any ideas? We can go from there. It's kind of a deep pit, so jumping down would be kind of foolhardy because then you wouldn't be able to get back up.
Yeah. I'm gonna use my other thing for rope. I'm gonna use my second thing for just a piece of rope to tie myself to something and try to get down and come back.
Alrighty, yeah, that makes sense. Let's do athletics check for that.
I'm going to spend something for sure on that because I have some athletics. I'm going to spend 2. So let's do 6.
Ooh, nice. Yeah, you tie it to something pretty sturdy, and you get down there and you start to untie him and everything like that. And Jared's just like, "Do you have a plan? Do you have a car or anything? How are we getting out of here?"
Yeah, we have a car. My uncle and dad are dealing with some stuff right now, but we'll get you out of here.
Dealing with some stuff. Okay, I mean, they're trying to stop me from going on the Coldest Walk. I think they're trying to use me as bait.
Bait for what?
The Wendigo, I guess. They call it something else, though. I don't know what this Ithaqua is, but that's what they've been calling.
Okay, let's get back in the butcher shed. It's really gross in there, so you might want to close your eyes, but we can hide there.
Why is it called the butcher shed?
Don't just close your eyes and go. Don't worry about it, man. Were you close with that other hunter? No reason.
Yeah, he was like one of my best friends. I think that's why he volunteered to go on this trip.
Yeah. No, he's probably okay.
Oh, okay, good. Thank God.
I bet he's thriving.
He's absolutely living right now.
wherever he is.
He'll be in pieces to see you.
And I'll try to sneak
Someone
us
probably
both
took
back
his
to the
coat,
shed.
though.
He'll just
This
be
is-
gushing as soon as he sees your eyes.
This is funny and all, but I did see them eat him while they were in the car with me. So I now
Where'd
that I
you
think
get that
about it,
fighting idea?
I want to say as you're climbing out of the pit, the stealth check from earlier comes back to bite you, and you see a cultist holding the end of the rope, and he grabs you by the wrist and pulls you out of the pit. And they're kind of like weirdly strong for how skinny and weird they are, but like two of them kind of lift you up into the air, and they're kind of holding you and stuff, and they start to bring you over to the bonfire, still chanting, "Ethak-wa! Ethak-wa!" And another one of them grabs Jarrett and starts to bring him over to the fire as well, just bringing him closer into the circle and everything like that. We cut back to Beau and Patches.
At this point, because I've seen the hand get saw off, another hand pops up. I immediately remembered I'm an explosives expert. I'm going to put down 3 for explosives
Ooh.
and shove it in one.
Oh, wow.
There you go. I want to say you shove it right in the armhole and the thing just... There's just meat everywhere. And whatever was inside of there is gone because it just seems to like evaporate into like a steam mist or something like that because of the explosion. And just... and there's just like ice shards everywhere.
I want to say, like, while Patches is doing this, Beau ran up to grab like the big giant machete out of the thing's gut and yanked it out. And like as he pulled it out, then it exploded.
Or maybe it's a brotherly teamwork thing. You yank it so that it opens a hole in the stomach, and then Patches shoves it in.
Yeah,
Yeah, and that's how it happens.
we predator high five through the hole.
Just really mangling this guy's corpse. And as the explosion of the M80 kind of makes you, again, like ring in your ears, once the ringing stops, you realize it's gotten quiet. Like, the chanting has stopped. All you hear is the raging bonfire of the house that's on fire in the middle of the town. And you see, Beau and Patches, that both Jarrett and Linc are being held in the center of town. As this big cultist comes out, he's wearing like a deer head skull in these black and red robes as he comes out. His arms seem a little demonic in nature, and they're the only parts of him that would be a bit human for you. And he starts to walk towards the center, and he starts saying something in some sort of language you aren't entirely sure, but the only word that you keep catching is Ethak-wa, as they've been saying it for the past 20 minutes.
Psychic connection sidebar with Beau at this moment. Beau,
He's up at Patches.
yep, you got that machete, right? Time for you to be responsible. Give me the machete. You take the gun.
So covered in blood and viscera, standing, not saying a word to each other, Beau and Patches just silently hand the machete and the rifle.
And then I
Nod.
grab the machete. We don't even look at each other. We just nod, and we're staring.
Shame.
But speaking of, Beau does take the moment to like pull out and either, if it's only a single shot, re-shell and bolt back in. But yeah,
Nice.
I would like the firearm to work.
It would be pretty nice if it did. So you hear this one cultist, this bigger, weirder cultist, making some sort of speech to. They're all like looking in the same direction, away from Beau and Patches, so all their backs are turned to you. They appear to be looking at something, and then as you take like a couple steps forward, about ready to kick ass, and then suddenly the tree line shakes. It's like King Kong. And there's like another shake in the tree line, and you feel like this tectonic shake in the ground as the trees part, like this gigantic and possibly large hand just kind of moves the tree line aside, and this giant figure kind of stands up. It's extremely skinny, except for its like tree trunk-like legs that feel like redwoods in size, and it's like very like gaunt and like its ribs are showing and they're all like icy and everything like that. And its head looks like deer's head, but not a skeletal deer, like a diseased one. Like it's still got the skin on it and everything. And it's got horns that look like giant icicles and everything like that as its glowing red eyes kind of look down at this cultist offering. And it looks like it just kind of stops and stands upright and looks down as if it's like listening to what they're saying and everything like that. But it's standing there and it's probably the size of like a 5-story building, just kind of standing over this bonfire as it's listening to these cultists and technically kind of staring at you too, because you're in its eye line. but yeah, so that's what's hovering over all of you. I want to say that's a sanity check for damn sure for all of you.
Okay.
I mean, 3's very average. You know, but...
Very average.
This game does not like us today.
No, it wants you to die, I think.
Oh, thank God.
All right, let's see. I want to say that is, let's see. Okay, Ty did fine. Ty, you take 2 hits
Jeez.
Of sanity, and then everybody else takes 3.
I'm about to lose my goddamn mind.
I'm on my last straw.
Yep, Beau's right on the edge.
That's fair. I mean, considering.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like as it's standing there, you notice the fire starts to turn from like a red to like starting to turn into like a blue, and like icicles are just kind of starting to grow out of the ground and like twisting, and like all these other like strange things are happening near its feet and everything as it's listening to you. If you'd like to give me an occult check, Linc, because you probably would have that.
I do have a cult. I will use 2 points.
Do it. Every roll leads up to this.
4. Oh, plus 2. So that I didn't
Plus 2,
add it.
6.
Yeah,
6. Yeah, I think that's good. You kind of understand what the lead, I guess you could say, priest is saying, and he's saying a chant that you're kind of familiar with, actually, and it seems to be working on the thing. But you think you might be able to use that somehow.
Okay.
At this point, I'm freaking out because at least the boy's there. We got this big, giant, creepy monster, which is just staring at us. Bigfoot deer head with this reindeer games bullshit. I psychic link to Beau and go, Beau, you still know how to drive your car, right?
Like away from here.
Nope. We gotta save the boy.
Oh.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's gonna be hard to even communicate with Beau because he is very singularly focused on Linc. So he's gonna pause for a while before he like breaks, because though that makes more sense, it takes him away from Linc as opposed to toward him, even if only temporarily.
I got the plan, so I'm trying to smack Beau because the deer's not moving right now, right? Like everybody's.
No, it's just listening. Yeah.
He's just listening. All right, so I try to smack Beau, get his attention, and immediately I'm like, Beau, get in the car and tackle that damn thing. I'm gonna distract it by shooting it with Roman candles.
Beau says nothing but just nods, shoulders the rifle, and makes a like dead sprint for the car.
All right, as he's running for the sprint to the car, doing 3 again on explosions. Yes.
Nice.
And I'm gonna Roman candle that fucking deer.
You got 6.
Yes.
So you just kind of light up these Roman candles, and so it doesn't have the effect you wanted, which is anything. It's almost like it feel you see the Roman candles like hit it, pop, and like the Wendigo or Ithaqua, as these these cultists call it. It kind of just goes, not right now, the adults are talking. But what happens, so it damaging the Wendigo at any capacity is, that didn't happen. But what did happen is you distracted the priest long enough that he stumbled over in his speech. And the Wendigo just goes, like, it just kind of nods for a second, and just, like, almost impossibly fast, it just kind of, like, reaches its hand out, and you see, like, it kind of go like this to pick up the priest, and it just picks it up, and the guy's, like, screaming, almost in joy, because it's almost like he wanted this, and then you see the Wendigo just go like that, and just throw it into the ground like a crater. Like, just... like super fast, like it's almost like it was here 1 second and then it's just in the ground in the next second, and there's just like blood and broken bones where the guy was, and his body's like frozen over, like exactly like the corpses you saw before, and you see like there's like a heart in the center that kind of like starts to glow a little bit as if it like absorbs some sort of life force into it, but it doesn't seem to be satisfied, and it slowly turns its gaze to Jarrett. But yeah, currently nobody's doing anything right now. Like the cultists are kind of like, they almost like are just like, what's it gonna do next? And stuff like that. They don't really seem to be scared or like perturbed by the fact that didn't work at all or anything or whatever. They think they're just kind of along for the ride of this thing.
Are me and Jarrett tied up?
You're just kind of being held by two cultists, like not very, and especially in this moment, they don't have a great grasp on you.
I want to try to break free.
Go for it. I want to say you don't even have to roll athletics for that. Just like they again, they're so focused on what just happened that like they're just kind of fine with it.
Do I have like a drivable lane, even if it's through some cultists, to like get to Linc and Jared?
Yeah. I mean, you could easily get to them and stuff if you need to.
Okay. Yeah, I'm flooring it. We're coming in hot.
Give me a drive check. Oh, it's 8. I was just like, I don't know why I didn't see it for a second there. Yeah, so you like do that cool thing where you like Akira slide into place and open the door. Patches and Linc are able to get inside, but do you want to?
No. Linc wants to, he wants to set up the totems in a circle around himself, the ones he stole.
Oh. So you just quickly like get to your knees and
yeah.
Okay, what do you do?
I want to try to recite the thing the guy was saying, the priest was saying.
Give me, let's say a cult.
Yeah.
It's not, you could just do it, like with points to spend and stuff like that. I would say spend a point.
I will spend a point.
Yeah. Okay, you start reciting the thing, the saying and stuff, basically picking up where the one guy left off. It's almost like you kind of like, okay, and then you just kind of continue it and stuff like that. And you notice that the little totems start to glow around you. The Wendigo starts to like look like it was about to pick up Jarrett, but then it looks at you and it kind of stands up straight like this. What is that? And then you notice, remember how I said that there was a circle in blood drawn around the house? That also starts to glow, starting with you. Around you, and you realize that the incantation that Dunlip didn't say wasn't Ojibwe in origin or anything like that. It was definitely like in like Eldritch. Like it's not like, oh, that's why the Ojibwe didn't know what the incantation was or like all that stuff. So but you just continue reciting this. What would you like to be reciting, and let's see if it works.
Ooh, gosh, what would I like to be reciting? Like what do I want this thing to do?
Essentially, yeah, like you have I guess like what sort of spell are you trying to communicate to it?
I am trying to communicate that me and everyone in the car are. No, I'm gonna try to. exert some sort of like, I'm with you, I'm on your team with it.
Okay. Give me, let's see, that's got to be something you got to roll for, but I want to sense what would be good for that. You don't have magic.
Cryptology. No, that's cryptography. That's something totally different.
That's map making.
Yeah, that is not what I want right here.
How about just give me a roll, and I'm gonna give you +2 to it because you're in a crazy spot and you used a cult to get there and stuff. So
5.
Okay, so you got a 7. So let's see. You say that you're on its side.
Yeah.
You kind of go for that. So what ends up happening is there's like a very bright light. Beau, you're like holding the door open. You're like, get in the car. And Patches, what would you be doing in this moment?
What's Deer Hunter doing? Is he just still standing up straight? Is he moving closer? Is he?
Oh, you mean the big monster?
Yeah, Deer Hunter.
Yeah, he's starting to glow. He's starting to glow very brightly.
I panic. I'm running towards the boy, and I'm just gonna tackle him out of the way and get him into the car.
Okay, so you go to do that, and you go to like tackle him, and you fly through the air, and you land face first in the snow as a bright light just envelops the area, and then all of a sudden, as the light dissipates, everything is gone. Witten is back to being like this completely destroyed town. There's no cultists anymore. There's no Linc anymore, and the giant monster is gone. Jarrett's sitting there too, like in the snow, just like on his knees, like, what just happened? As like everything just kind of disappeared, and then the aurora borealis starts to dissipate in the night sky.
Is Beau still there, or is Beau gone?
Beau's still there. You're still in the car.
Okay.
I'm shuffling, turning around, looking at everything. Are all the cultists gone too?
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's gone.
Beau like bear crawl climbs over the passenger seat out of the car to like where Linc was, and is like frantically looking around.
Yeah, there's just the statues that he had just kind of like they fall over, and the circle he drew is gone too. Like it's like all the blood that was used to make that circle is just gone.
I run over. I still got the machete in my hand. I pick up Jared by the shirt right here in the collar, and I go, "What the hell just happened? Where's our boy?"
I don't know. I've never seen that before. I mean, I've never been on the Coldest Walk.
But like, where's the boy, Jet Sterling?
This has never happened. I mean, or maybe this is how it happens. Is this how the Coldest Walk happens? I don't know what happens on the walk itself. Like, maybe this is normal?
Beau, like, stands up, turns around, and pulls the rifle and shouts, "Talk! Where's the boy?"
I don't know. I've never done this before. And I mean, as far as I know, like, Dunlip said this isn't what happened. It sounded like what happened usually is what you saw with the one guy that's but no, I've never heard about no bright light or anything like that. People disappearing. What did your boy do?
I don't. Beau, the only other person who knows anything is Dunlap. Let's take this fool with us and figure it out. What do you think?
Beau looks at like the spot where Linc was, and looks at Patches for just a moment, and then just clocks Sterling with the butt of the rifle and throws him in the back of the car.
You would have gone.
I didn't want to hear
from him. Going through something.
Beau's got some shit he's dealing with.
So yeah, Beau just hucks his unconscious body into the back of the car, gets in the driver's seat, and like starts leaving, like while Patches is trying to get in.
Before we leave, because I saw that he just clocked him without saying anything, I feel bad for Sterling, and I give him a bag of voodoo chips. Then I get in the car.
He's in the back. You just throw voodoo chips on him, and he's just like completely knocked out in the back seat.
He might get
We see the car drive away from this empty town as the camera kind of pans back, and we slowly fade to black. I want to say time goes by, you get no answers. Dunlap's dead by the time you get back to town, like he just kind of expired over the night and everything like that. You aren't entirely sure what happened to Linc or anything like that. I want to say maybe a year goes by. Patches and Beau, what does your life look like in a year? This is an epilogue, by the way, so we're
yeah.
Best thing I could think of is I finally convinced the fool. We've gone on a backpacking trip. We're on Isle Royale. Talked to him. You know, it's one of the most isolated isles right here in Lake Superior. And we finish our hike. We sit in the dock, and we're just enjoying the Aurora Borealis before we have to fly home tomorrow. We're not feeling good.
I would say years later, there's probably not much of Beau left. He would have lost himself for a long time in a search for Linc, but found himself woefully ill-equipped to dive into the world that would be needed to potentially have a chance at saving his son. So I'd say, like, there's plenty of people of the handsome name who went, like, the route of Patches and just basically fell into vagrancy, and Beau goes from being, like, an upstanding Midwestern neighbor, like, you know, always there to help out and whatnot, drinks himself into losing the house and is just kind of lost to time.
Wandering vagrant. Linc, your chest hurts as you wander in the woods. You've been doing this for a long time now, and you have like a hunger inside of you that just seemingly needs to be quenched every so often. You've had your fill of poultice for a while. That lasted you maybe 10 years or so, but your chest, like the rib cage that is your chest, just hurts as you tower over the woods and you look back at the town of Four Pines and you begin your yearly feast of the town as you have become the Wendigo. And the circle, or the chain continues as Linc Hansen has become Ithaqua the Wendigo. Because he said he was on his side. And what's funny is what's cool about Trail of Cthulhu scenarios is that they give you a few options for an ending, which is why I asked, what do you want to do this thing? Yeah. And the only one that made sense with what you said was become the Wendigo. But the woods are lovely, dark, and deep this time of year as the Aurora Borealis fills the sky, and you know you're about to be sated once again, at least for a little while longer. And that is the Coldest Walk, the Trail of Cthulhu scenario. Brought to you by Schmuckies. Schmuckies, it's out of the woods. It's out of the woods. It's out of the woods. With that, we'll wrap up here. And we could do our outroduction, say what our favorite part of the scenario was. You can include the last session too, like the scenario as a whole, not just tonight and everything like that. With that, we'll throw it over to Rob.
Great game. It was awesome. Favorite moment, honestly, was wherever me and Beau discovered psychic connection conversation.
I like the sibling connection. It's pretty great.
So many good moments.
We'll throw it over to Matt. Oh wait, what was it? Were you gonna say more?
You know what? I was gonna change it and just be like, because of that, the changeover from the gun to the knife. There.
That was also pretty great.
Yeah.
Matt, super big pleasure to play. Similar favorite moment to Rob, just on the other end. Thoroughly enjoyed that Rob's drug-laced chips were what allowed Beau to finally connect with him. Like, if Beau, like, because Beau never took drugs, he couldn't have this connection with his brother their whole lives. And then the moment he did it, just like, boom, telepathy.
So it was literally voodoo.
Why do you keep offering them?
I just want to have a connection with you. Yeah, but I didn't think like that.
I didn't understand. If you would have
I thought
said
you just
anything
wanted to
else,
like hang out and go fishing or something like that. Ty, we'll throw it to you.
I liked being the Wendigo. Pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool ending.
Yeah.
And I'm Dave. I was the GM for tonight. My favorite part was I still really loved the wolf encounter in the beginning. It was creepy as fuck. It was really fun. But yeah, also I like the cannibal cultists because they were fun to play with, and I like big bloody butcher guy I made up on the spot. Yeah.
our mini boss fight, something completely fabricated.
I like that the other cultists were like, he's got this. And it was like this literal like comedy of errors of just trying to stab this fucking guy. Also gotta give a special shout out to pickled eggs and voodoo chips.
Yes.
The best things a camp trip can afford.
Yeah.
With that, we are the Mythos Mystery Society, brought to you by Schmuckies. Schmuckies! I already said it's out of this woods, and that was pretty good. And we're just gonna go ahead and do that one more time. For old time's sake, grab yourself a pickled egg and get out of the woods.